Okay.
What are you calling this?
I don't know yet. Don't know. And I also don't know how to do it because I've never done a podcast for my life. I've been on one.
Have you listened to any?
I listened to
You were on the Critical.
Yeah.
I watched that.
The official podcast. What a name that one is.
I know.
Maybe I just need it. Maybe simple is best.
Verified.
The
Call
unofficial podcast.
This is the verified podcast.
This is the podcast. We don't know what it's called yet.
Yeah.
But it's the first one. We'll see. We'll come up with a name soon, hopefully. Because I also need the name to be on the channel I upload this to. Because I'm not
Stutter
uploading it to
in
my
your
channel.
voice.
Yeah, it'd be nice for people to be like, man, I'm not sure which one I'm listening to, and then it just comes into Tyler. He's like, guys, welcome to the podcast. Woo! Here we go.
Okay, as you can tell, I'm joined by Anthony, BigJigglyPanda, and Craig, MiniLadd, two of my very, very good buddies here on YouTube that I've known throughout the last decade, and that's kind of where I want to start talking. It's 2020.
I know.
The 2010s are gone, and that decade for all three of us was literally life-changing in every way possible.
Oh my god, yeah, it's ridiculous. It'll be 10 years in October since you and I met, and I don't remember exactly.
In October?
Yeah, October of this year it'll be 10 years that you and I met.
No, I think it's 2011.
Because a lot of people don't remember that, obviously, you being I Am Wildcat, but originally you were IR Panda, all in caps.
Yeah.
That was your original name when I first met you.
Yeah. So Tyler stole my name idea. No, we met in 2011 because that's when I started my channel. And that's when Evan reached out to me and was like, hey, you just started your channel. I did too. And I'm like, cool. I don't know who the fuck you are, but you want to play games
Is there a
together?
comment still on your YouTube video? Because my very first upload on YouTube, there's a comment still there from Vanoss Gaming saying, great first video. I sent you a message. Respond to me or whatever.
I think so. It's on one of my first videos. And I think there's some on there from you too after he introduced us.
Because I know Evan reached out to you two.
Yeah, you were a while down the line, right?
For me, I met...
what were you doing this time? 2011, 2012?
I started the channel in May. I was 16 living in Northern Ireland, and it was me and I had another group of people, not really a previous group, but just guys who I hung around with. And one of them was actually Sniping Soup, who is now blowing up on Siege, which is dope.
Sniping Soup?
Sniping Soup, yeah. Okay. He's now blowing up the Siege community, which is awesome.
Does he just go by Soup now, or is it still
just Soup, yeah. But then I met you guys because I met Marcel and Delirious in a random lobby. And those guys were like, you're pretty cool, let's hang out more. And I was like, sure. And then they were like, hey, I got these other American guys. You want to meet them? Sure. And that's where you guys came in.
Yeah, so before we had ever been introduced to Delirious and basically, like, Evan met Delirious, and then through Evan meeting Delirious, we met those guys.
Yeah. Everyone had a bunch of smaller groups that eventually just amalgamated.
I actually had a video. I have a video on my channel because I did a stream like a while ago where we went back and watched some of my old videos. And one of the videos was a Modern Warfare 3 like funtage video where one of the games was my group of friends playing against Delirious, and basically I had to work before we knew who they were.
Oh, really?
They were using riot shields against us on some map. I don't remember.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So we actually played against each other before we really knew of each other. And then we got reintroduced.
I did that
I think that was
Louis.
Like late MW3, or I don't know if I met those guys in MW3 or if it was Black Ops 2. I don't know when I met Delirious. I can't remember.
When did Black Ops 2 come out?
2012.
2012?
End of 2012. But
I remember
most
meeting
of that year was 2013.
Well, did we meet Scott through Marcel? Because I met Scott in Modern Warfare 3 era.
Yeah, I think Scotty always said that he like was like a subscriber or something of Delirious or Marcel, and he would just like session join and just play. I literally think Scott. Don't quote me on that, but I think
Scott. That's how you guys get into.
I love that.
That's probably the top question we get all the time. How do you guys get into the Vanoss crew?
Well, I find it funny how people think that for some reason there's like tryouts.
Right.
Like Evan is on like a judging panel and people just walk in. No.
Yeah.
And then for us, it's like, yes, I want you.
it wasn't like back then. It wasn't even like Evan wasn't even like the guy like the leader or whatever. It was just there was just a group of us, and we all played consistently every night. And so it was like there's 10 people online. So we just break up into whatever groups.
Yeah.
And over the years, like some people just kind of, I don't know, they didn't mesh as well for whatever reason. Like I feel like some people, I remember there was some people that got mad that like we had like ditched them or like left them out. It's like just some people just, get along better than others. And we just kind of stuck with the guys that were like,
it was, I mean, it's a friend group through and through.
I mean, it's kind of like, when you leave high school and you lose touch with some people that you were really close friends with because you saw them every day. It's the same thing.
You
It's
go
like we
different
don't axe
ways.
people out of a group because there's not a group. It's just friends.
I mean, yeah, exactly. That's how it's all really ever been.
I think the whole attachment to it being sort of the Vanoss group is because he was the first one to really blow.
Yeah, because I mean, we all met when we all had about 5K subs. Even earlier. I mean, you
Oh
guys
my
I
God.
met
first
these guys.
video.
We had like 10.
We had like
Right.
10 apiece.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like early days.
And
Like,
then
I
I
had just
remember
posted my first
Evan-
video a week ago.
Yeah, and then I remember Evan uploaded a video. He was uploading to like back then there was like community channels and like highlight videos. Like there were people doing commentaries where they would like talk about, you know, the gameplay. They were playing Modern Warfare 3, whatever, and they would have like every Friday we bring on a random viewer from the community who uploads their commentary. And I think Evan got on like a couple of those.
Yeah.
So he gained.
Is
a
it
few
kind of like a
hundred
best call comedy?
Yeah, kind of, but it was more of just like commentaries. Like it would just be bigger commentators would be like showcasing people from their community on Sunday. I think they called it like sub Sundays and stuff like that.
That's
Okay.
cool.
Evan got on a couple of those. So he was the first one to break like 100, 200, 300 subscribers. And then, you know, that kind of trickled down through the way. And then he did that video with White Boy. He did like a remix of him and he gained like 10,000 subscribers in like 2 days.
Yep.
And that was the catalyst. And then BO2 came out and that was when we all kind of really.
Well, because I
Yeah.
remember we were all sitting, you know, back when Skype was alive. I remember all of us were sitting in a call together and we're all just, I think Evan like shared his screen and we're all watching Social Blade for him to tick over to 1 million subs. Because obviously he was the first one to hit
Yeah,
it.
that
We were
was-
just- I remember that. We were all just in a call just
I
watching
think that
him hit
was
it.
in Black Ops 2. Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Evan's key to success was in the Modern Warfare 3 days. He took advantage of the sort of the tutorial craze. He'd put out like shotgun tips
Yep.
or
Yeah.
map tricks and stuff like that. And that blew him up. Because that's what everybody was looking for at the time. You know, YouTube was blowing up. Call of Duty was obviously like the main thing. Machinima Respawn. Everybody's putting up Call of Duty channels. So he just was like, okay, this is what's big.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run with it. You know, you guys have probably figured this out by now, but Evan is like a business-minded genius. He's not just a YouTuber.
No.
He's not just a musician. This guy does so much shit behind the scenes, and we all do. But he's just mastered it.
I'm going to have him on the podcast at some time because
Yeah.
I know he's trying to look to get more into that and kind of be more open about what he
Him.
does and all the things he's doing.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, having known him as long as I have, like he's very business minded. And so back then it was about, you know, he was just trying to find what stuff was going to get his channel to blow up the quickest. And
Right.
at the time you were doing like commentaries.
Mhm.
I was kind of doing commentaries and then trying to do like funny stuff on my own. And then over the course of the years, we started just playing together and just uploading the funny shit that happened while we
Right.
played.
Yeah.
And then with Black Ops 2, that's when you kind of stopped playing as much.
I just dipped.
Yeah.
I mean, completely dipped. I don't know. It was weird because I always ask myself, like, why did I quit YouTube at the time? And part of it was I had just gotten hired, or I just got promoted at my job at Office Depot as a manager. I was working like 50 hours a week. And then to come home and play a game that just made me pissed off, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not really hurting to do this. And it eventually just became like, I would just keep in touch with you guys on social media and maybe upload 3-4 videos a year.
Because I mean, that was when we were making like $400 a month. You know, this
Yeah.
isn't like
We were all
any
in
kind
different
of
positions
job.
too. Like you were very young. We're all younger than you, like as far as us two and most of the people in the group. I think
Yeah.
Marcel's probably similar in age to you.
I
But
think Marcel's the same age and Brock is older.
yeah,
Brock is
but
older.
most of us were younger. So like we were in positions where, you know, we were like going to school, we were living at home, didn't have a lot of bills. Like
Yep.
you had to work.
Right.
You
Oh
know,
yeah, we
it
all
was
had jobs. I remember, like, so you used to work as, what was it, a security guard?
security guard, yeah.
And so what he and I would do is literally, I would get home from my job at 10 p.m. or whatever.
I'd get home at like midnight.
He'd be at his job, sitting at his desk on Skype, watching YouTube videos instead of, I don't know, the security monitors.
There was no security monitors. I worked the front desk. My only responsibility is make sure employees leaving weren't taking shit out they weren't supposed to, and employees coming in weren't bringing in guns and shit they weren't supposed to bring in. That was all it was.
I just picture that security guard that you see in movies when like
They're just
the
lying back
villain
in
is
the chair.
sneaking in. And you're just like, oh hey Roger, and the guy's just like, what's up, Tom?
Yep.
Like don't even look
Literally,
up.
yeah, no, literally a lot of it was just me sitting at a desk and someone would come in and sign on a piece of paper in front of me, and then that was it. And then it's like make sure employees don't leave on their lunch breaks so they don't cost the company money and shit. That job was so like it was so cushy. That's why I was like just watching videos and like
Yeah.
doing homework the whole time pretty much.
Well, same as like, because you're working at Office Depot, you were working as a manager job. I'm
Craig
pretty sure
was in the womb.
I was escaping. Because I mean, I was what, 18, 2013? So I remember, being Northern Irish, that was me, Nogla, and Brian. I remember when I used to come home from school, get all my stuff done, and then we would all jump online at like 1 in the morning. And then we play from like 1 in the morning to maybe like 6 or 7. And I remember Brian had to go to his Subway job at 7 a.m. And I had to go to school because I got my bus at 8 a.m. So I remember
People
that- I
don't see
remember-
this stuff that like all that went into it.
No,
Like,
because I remember like if you go back and watch older videos, like especially zombie videos, where we were trying to like do like an Easter egg or something like that. I remember there's times where Brian just wouldn't be there at the end of the video because he had to go to work, and then I would dip at the end of the video. So it's always like maybe like Evan and Delirious or something like that at the end of the video because we had to go.
I remember like once a week, multiple weeks out of a month, there were like stretches where I would stay awake for like 30 to 40 hours. Like I would wake up one morning, go to work or go to school, be done with school, go to work, come home, record, edit, get up, go to school, go to work, come home, and then do like homework or something.
Right.
And then Evan, I know, was doing he was doing a lot of that too because he was going to school when we were all like really trying for YouTube and stuff. And he was working a lot harder on his videos. Like he was editing like crazy. So
yeah.
And he was like trying to stick to a schedule of like every other day where most of us didn't.
Was this when he was at college? Because I know you guys were he was in his dorm and you were in your dorm.
I just know that like everyone early on like put in crazy hours.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah.
Yeah, you had to.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. I remember, 2012, I got my parents like really, really shitty like $200 laptop, which in 2012 is fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Pick up the worst thing from Best Buy or whatever. And I used to sit there. I used to record my Minecraft Let's Play, which I had, the fog was from here, maybe like 1 foot in front of my face. I could see 2 blocks in front of me.
I remember that back when you had to put Minecraft on a shitty comper. It was just like the render distance was literally like 8 feet in front of you. You're like, I think I'm at my I'm at my house. You're like, let me go. I don't remember where the staircase is. I can't see it inside my own house.
The best part is they introduce a new feature, which is to get rid of your mouse on recordings. But the way they did it is they just took a black box and just put a black box around where the mouse is. So I would do my Minecraft Let's Plays, and then I have a black box in the middle of my screen for where my cursor should be, and it's trying to block out my cursor.
Oh my God.
I was Fraps.
That was some jank. Oh yeah,
Fraps.
Dude, that
Fraps.
program was not good.
But I remember doing that. I used to come home, record that. I used to edit that on Adobe After Effects because I didn't realize how long the render times were. So I used to render for about 8 hours before I went to bed. I used to upload it because my internet was that bad. It would be uploaded by the time I woke up from school. And then I would have it scheduled, so whenever I got home, it would upload, and then I would do that every day.
I had to do that. I had to like upload a video before I went to work because my internet was so terrible that like a 3.5 minute video at like terrible bitrate. Bitrate, you guys wouldn't even be able to like. You can still watch the videos; they're still up there. You can barely see what's going on. It's just moving pixels,
like 500 bitrate.
Yeah, it looks fine when you're standing still, but once you like move the gun or something, it just blurs out and pixelates.
Unintentional motion blur.
Yeah, it was like 3.5 minute, 4-minute long videos. And they would take 7 hours to upload. I mean, we're talking files that are like 700 megabytes.
Right.
They would take like 7 hours. The internet was so terrible.
Because I mean, even nowadays, like upload speeds, like a lot of companies nowadays will focus on download, like get 100 down, 200 down.
That was
whatever.
the way it was then, yeah.
But even now,
That
like they
doesn't
still
mean
don't really
anything for
care
us.
about. Yeah, they don't really care about upload speeds. So nowadays, you might get like 500 down, but 50 up. Whilst then you would get the fastest speed in my country, even to this day, is a 35 down, 3 up in Northern Ireland. So I remember then
That was
we were
still better
paying
than what I had.
Yeah. I remember then we were paying for 5 up, and I think like it was like a 0.1 or 0.05 down or something like that. That's why it took so long.
Jesus, dude. No.
When did you come back? I can't remember if it was like 2014 because we were doing GTA pretty much. We were doing Black Ops 2 all 2013.
Yeah.
2014 was Ghost. We tried it for like a couple weeks, and then 2014
2015
was
is Gmod.
like 2014 was mostly GTA.
Right.
There was some Gmod in there. But I can't remember when because 2014, obviously, that's when PAX 2014 was, and you went there. But I don't remember if you were doing YouTube as much then.
I wasn't really uploading at the time. So take pretty much the release date of Black Ops 2 and add about 18 months to that. And that's about the time I came back. Because I know I pretty much took the entire Black Ops 2.
Yeah, so that would put you at like March or April of 2014.
Yeah. So I mean, I was probably do you have the release date?
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now.
It's November of 2012.
Was it 2012?
November 12th, 2012.
So then a year would put you at November of 2013. 6 months is put you around April. Yeah.
So
April 15.
So 2014, 2015, I was still making videos, but it wasn't a lot. Maybe a couple a month, but it was better than a couple a year. And then I think I just had this revelation at like the end of 2015, which was like, I can't do this back and forth shit anymore because I'm doing still management at Office Depot and then coming home and just trying to make videos. It's like I need to pick one. And so I made a decision. I was like, I'm going to see where I can take this. And this is where, talk about the hours that you put in.
Yeah. There was like a good solid month where you were like doing both.
It was 6 months.
Yeah.
You were destroyed some of those nights.
No, it was 6 months straight that I would go to work at 6 o'clock in the morning. I would work till 4 p.m. I would come home. I would immediately start either editing what we had recorded before or start recording with you guys. We'd be up till 2, 3 a.m. I would stay up till 3 or 4 o'clock editing and then be up at 5:30, go to work. And I did that for 5 or 6 months straight.
Yep.
You know, if you take 45 hours of work at the actual job and then 40 hours of work at home, you know, we're putting in 40 or 80, 90 hour weeks. Trying to sleep, have a social life. Like I had a girlfriend at the time. It'd be like, all right, hi babe, good night. Like that's all we had time for. Shit, man, I'm glad I made that change.
Yeah, and I just remember when you finally decided to go like full time, you were still like nervous about it. And we were all just like,
yeah,
you're gonna play with us every day. Like you're gonna be fine. Like we're gonna help you. Like as long as you put the time in, like there's just no way it's not gonna like do well.
Well, because I mean, at this point,
such a good support group.
Do you know how many subs that you had when you left?
When I left,
yeah.
Oh God, probably less than 100,000 to be honest.
Yeah, because you had less than 100K, but
like
because
40
you left,
probably.
you left for 2 years, and we finished playing Black Ops 2, which helped us. But then GTA was the real catalyst that kind of blew us up to where we are.
Oh, yeah, I came back, and you guys were all in the millions at that point.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why
I hit 1 million in 2014, like
same
right after PAX or during PAX, I think.
Yeah,
I was the same because we have like the older ones, like the massive, really heavy ones. But that's what we were saying. Like whenever you came back, like you know, we kind of all blew up at this point. We wanted to try and get you to where we were.
Yeah.
So that's what, you know, there was a trust element involved, and you kind of trusted us to help you out, and I'm glad you did.
Of course. I mean, it also went the other way around because when I remember the same thing I'd always say to you guys would be like, look, I don't want you guys to think I'm coming back just to like ride off of your success either, because it was clear that you guys were doing something right. It was, I don't know, just my own paranoia of that's just how I am.
I mean, that's just how you think, but like, you're obviously a very funny guy, so it's like,
and we're all good friends.
It's
like,
not like our videos are at a detriment trying to, you know, like, oh, I don't want to fucking play with that Anthony guy. Like,
oh god, we have to edit his laugh out in the video again.
His fake laugh. We gotta edit that fake laugh.
Dude, I remember there was a video that you went back recently and you watched like your old videos, and there was a Gmod video that you uploaded when you first came back, and it's when you were still Doritos. I was still Mario. Evan was still Luigi.
It was the sandbox dodgeball episode.
It was a dodgeball episode.
Oh yeah,
and I'll let you explain because it's fantastic.
Yeah. So I actually uploaded a video on this not too long ago where I went back and watched some of my older content. But there was in that video, because I was still so nervous and still so quiet. It's like I'm recording at my parents' house and it's late at night.
I hate that. I hate recording when I know there are people in the house. Like Kelly's parents and like her stepdad comes over during the holidays.
Yeah,
the worst time to record.
You're just like, you're like kind of like,
I was always recording at 4 a.m. My parents were just one wall over, and you know, every week my dad would come and just saying, "You're a little loud this time," and just close the door. Anyway, sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. My parents would do the same shit, but it's so what would happen is that I would go back and when I'm editing this video, I'd be like, wow, I think I said maybe 12 words this whole session. So I would record voiceover. And randomly insert it into the video.
I need to see this video now.
But it was like laughter and shit. Or there was one where it was like, "Get over here, little bitch," when I'm talking like picking up a dodgeball. But the pitch in my voice during the dub was different than in the video, because you could tell I was like closer to my mic or something. So in the video it'd be like, "Oh hey guys, la 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 la," and then the voiceover's, "Get over here, little bitch." It's like two totally different tones. And when I rewatched that video for the reaction, I'm like, I did I really just hear that? Like, did I actually do that? I did.
Did you not know you like when you started watching the video? Did you not remember that you did that?
No.
And then after seeing,
I totally forgot that I had ever done that kind of stuff. So who knows how many other videos there are that are either private or still public, or have been taken down because of copyright with music and stuff. Where I was just like, I didn't say anything, so let me just record some fake lines and throw them in there. So, you know, we've all
for the sake of content.
We've all done some weird stuff when it comes to, you know, spicing things up a little bit for a video.
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember 2013. I left college and I went. I gave myself a year. My professor was like, "Okay, you can take your gap year now. You have 1 year to try and figure this out." And I left college the same week that GTA 5 came out. I was only at college for 2 weeks. And because it's 18 in the UK to drink, I was fucked.
You went to college
at all
for 2
times.
weeks.
Because like what happens in the UK is they will bring over and they would have like celebrities come over and perform, and they like the universities would get sponsored by alcohol companies.
Oh yeah,
because they already know what's going on. Well, I'll say in America, like you kind of have to sneak out to get beer or something like that. In the university, they throw parties for you, and it's incredible. And I barely remember university.
All 2 weeks of it.
All 2 weeks of it. Oh my! I was fucked.
I made so many memories.
Met so many people.
Like when I met that guy and I met that other guy.
There was one dude. He was dope. All right.
Craig was at school long enough to read the syllabus. And then he dipped.
I said I went for an extended freshers. Freshers is the week before you go to university and you have your first lecture. So you go a week beforehand to get to know everyone. That, you know, like I said, universities throw parties for you.
Yeah.
So I said I just went for an extended freshers. I had one college class the entire time, and that was it. And it was about, because I went for music production, and it was about how sound travels through walls for 3 hours. And I was like,
I would have left too.
At least
I'm
it's
gonna do-
useful. You know, hey, you probably applied that to your, you know, your YouTube setup. And
acoustically, yeah.
is that why the Coke curtains were in your?
No, that was my thing.
Listen,
my parents were
curtains that
cheap.
advertise soft drinks and any, you know, any random product. Those are great at blocking out sound.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wish I got paid for that, but Coca-Cola, sorry, skipping forward a little bit, but Coca-Cola actually reached out to me saying, because there was a meme on my channel of people saying, we want to get you sponsored by Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
And I was like, hell yeah, I've never had a sponsorship before. I even know how this thing's work.
Well, Coke Gaming's
So-
all over Twitch. So.
I know. We reached out to Coca-Cola to see if they want to sponsor me, and they said, A, no, B, take down the curtains or we will take them down for you. I was like, okay.
I would have challenged them to that.
And now, you know, look, 6-7 years later, they're like, they want you to promote their stuff and partner with you. Just the impact of what we do. The impact. Wow, these mics do lots of stuff.
Yes, they do.
The impact of what we do is it's clearly showing
Yeah.
in the last 10 years.
But sorry, so 2013. Oh, hello, Kino. Sorry. 2013, I left, and I remember I worked the night shift for 2 years. So I used to wake up at 7 p.m. and I used to go through till about 11 a.m. every single day just to try and keep up with you guys because you're obviously in American time and I was
Right.
8 hours ahead of you guys. Well, it's 5 hours ahead of you. You were in Ohio, so I should know 5 hours ahead of you guys. But
we were both Eastern.
my
Yeah.
heart's a little fucky right now because I remember I used to wake up and I used to go get a coffee before the coffee place closed, and then have a pre-workout before I went to the gym, and then have a monster before I recorded and edited. I did that for
That
2
explains
years.
so much about the early days of playing. You just
if you guys
want
want to
buzzed off my tits.
you guys want to know why Craig has been so loud in his earlier content? It's because he couldn't help it.
Yeah,
His
I'm-
eyes were bugging out of his skull.
his heart was on the verge of exploding.
Hey guys,
Yeah. And that's why everyone's like, I worked that night shift for 2 years. I remember coming to America the first time, and something as simple as waking up in the morning when everyone else is waking up, I didn't experience that for 2 years.
Yeah.
To the point where, you know, longitude, latitude wise of where Northern Ireland is, there was points in the winter months where I have to take multivitamin tablets. Fuck you, I'm foreign. Multivitamin tablets just to try and make sure that I got enough because I wasn't getting anything from the sun. I wasn't getting anything from going outside. It was dark for like 3 months straight. I didn't see the sun for months on end.
Jesus.
So it's the things that people don't see in our like behind the scenes lives. Because everyone looks at us now with like, oh, millions of subscribers and things
Yeah.
like that, but they don't see this part. And it's cool to reflect on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a genuine like curiosity. I mean, everybody who's watching this right now is either, for the most part, a lot of you've stuck around for years. But, I'm sure a lot of
Everyone
you
says
curious.
that anyway. I don't know how.
Yeah.
How many do I believe?
I've
but-
been here for 11 years. No, you haven't.
I mean, I've often wondered that, and then with the tour and stuff that we just wrapped up, you would meet people who'd be like, "Hey, do you remember when you did this thing in this video?" I'd be like, "I'm not sure when was that." They'd be like, 2012." I'd be like, "No, I don't remember."
I was
How do
fresh
you?
out of the uterus. I don't know.
Like, how do you remember this kind of stuff? So,
Well,
it's,
there was a
it's cool
thing-
that you guys keep up with so much.
So even recently, you gave me, because my birthday was about 8-9 days ago.
Yeah.
And you gave me a bottle of whiskey and you got engraved on it saying, this will lead into another story, Sir Harold Thompson, thickest cheeks of Derry.
This one,
And I posted that and I told people the story of why you guys called me Harry Thompson as a private joke.
oh my god, I know where this is going.
And someone replied saying, oh my God, is that why Tyler called you Harry in 2014? I was like, that was 6 years ago.
Yeah,
Didn't that
That
story? That
resonated.
story came up. The tour stop in Nashville because I asked the question.
Yes, exactly. But it's the fact that someone remembered, like, even you calling me Harry 6 years ago, and
Yeah.
they
Now,
held on
now
to
they
that.
just now know
And
why.
now they just figured it out. Like, that's crazy to me.
that's like a cool little segue to 2014.
Okay, 2014, PAX East, Boston. All of us are meeting in person for
Yep.
the first time. We had been friends online for 2-3 years.
And at this
Talked
point,
every day, but never met each other.
Nope.
and this point, we all couldn't really afford a
We were
hotel
broke.
room separate. Yeah, we were all pretty broke at that point. Apart from Evan. Evan, we all stayed together.
Well, his channel was like he was
Yeah,
yeah,
he's a million
We
miles
say
away.
Evan wasn't that meant he could afford his own room, right?
It was a premium luxury at that time
Yeah.
to have
so
your
it
own
was
room.
because it was me. Did you stay in the room?
Yep.
It was
You
us
stayed in the
three.
room?
It was us
Marcel,
three, Marcel, and Scotty. But Scotty ended up going and sleeping in Evan's room on the floor.
Oh,
Right.
true. And you need to understand this is a 1-bedroom, very
It's-
small.
It's like a
apartment.
suite, so it had a pull-out couch and 1 bedroom. So there's 4 of us, and there's 2 beds.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we just swapped who cuddled who each night, but yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But
It was-
anyway, we all
basically
We actually did too. We
Whoever
shared
passed
bed.
out on the actual bed first, is pretty much who got it.
Yeah.
Which ended up usually being you and me, which was fine.
I
like a
I
big
remember
teddy
me and
bear.
Marcel. He's a good cuddler.
Yep.
So where do we even begin? Because there's a million
we first
stories.
walk in the room, we see each other. It was awkward for about 2 seconds. And
Yeah.
because
and then-
we're all gamers and we're all on the internet for a reason because we're just
Awkward.
antisocial beings.
Yeah, it was like it's just like we knew what each other looked like, but it's like okay, you're
It was never important.
Yeah.
I mean, no one was different in person either. So we knew
Yeah,
how
no.
everyone was gonna be, but it's the fact that you could like touch them, which was just weird.
Yeah, and we used a little bit of social lubricant, and we got wasted pretty much instantly.
Oh yeah.
We just started drinking
That first
right away.
night.
Really, the only difference of talking to Tyler in person is that when I talk to him online, it's like this, and when I talk to him in person,
It's
It's
looking
like
up
that.
at the
He's
ceiling.
looking up at the ceiling, by the way. If it's
Wow.
this is audio only.
that's about.
the audio is he does this, but now he does this.
Well, I mean, we have videos going. If you guys were unaware of that,
No, but for Spotify.
oh well, Spotify. If you guys ain't watching, fuck y'all. I love you guys. Just kidding. No, it was. Oh God. I mean, because I met Tyler before anybody else because we met up at the airport.
And I met Evan at the airport. He was the first person I met.
Did
okay.
I meet you? Yeah, we rode together from the airport. I
Yep.
do remember that now.
Mhm.
Yep. You
Did
were
we
the
meet-
first person.
Yep.
We went from the airport. You remember that? And then I'm trying to think who was already there. Were you already there?
It was
Or did
me
you come-
and Evan because we both came in from California. Because I think he was still living in Canada, but then I think he was in LA for the time, which we got the same flyover, and then we headed over together. And there's a picture that I took of Evan at the airport. He was holding a donut and him smiling 6 years ago. And media outlets still use this photo to this day of Evan eating a donut at baggage claim.
Are these like? Is this like spiky short hair, black aviator, and
Yeah.
Tight button
yeah,
up
yeah,
Evan era?
Yeah.
That's not the bacon strips. He wore the bacon strips.
Oh,
shirt
yeah.
all
oh
the
my
time.
God,
Yeah.
It's that
the
era.
epic mealtime.
Yeah.
God, whatever happened to that channel? Did they get a TV show
They
or
did like a
something?
watched
TV
it
show. I
recently.
think they still upload stuff now, but obviously it's
So-
not anything like what it was. But
No.
Well,
Yeah.
the main guy, Harley, he has a Facebook gaming stream, so he's one of the bigger streamers over on Facebook gaming.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But as far as
He-
his channels, I have no idea.
Epic Mealtime was awesome when that was like the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because when they first started it, obviously the ideas were insane,
Yeah. It was like
And
10
then-
birds inside of 10 other birds.
and then you start
Instead
running
of-
out of ideas. And it's just like, how big can we make this fucker?
that's one thing that like
It sounds like my sex life.
we've been doing YouTube so long. We've seen so many channels get so big and then just disappear. And I'm really like I'm just very like thankful that that's like
We're
always been a
still
big
here.
fear. Yeah,
The
we're still
moment
here.
the moment you
All
upload
of
this
us are still
podcast, all of our
growing.
channels just.
Yeah, you know what? We had a good run, if so. But year over year, you know, there are some years that are kind of sideways, but for the most part, every year's been going up, I think, for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that's like across the board, like pretty much everyone. If it's not it's not going down, it's either going sideways or we're going up, and obviously that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
If it goes sideways too long, you got to start thinking, okay, how do I make it go up?
Right.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, like to really, we can get in this conversation a whole lot more, but like to really continue to gain momentum on YouTube, you need to switch up what you're doing. So there's a lot of channels out there who do COD commentaries until their channel just died.
Yeah.
Well, so we went from COD commentaries
I mean,
to
that's
GTA
like
to
the
Gmod
epic
to-
mealtime thing, right? You can only make so many crazy meals before you're like, oh my god, they made a ton of cheeseburgers.
Right.
Oh, this time they made a humongous pizza.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
Because then even for you, Tyler, like you then went to Fortnite and now you're on COD. So it's like you keep up with the times. There's a lot of channels out there who they're around for a few years. They don't change what they're doing at all. They're like, this works. I'm going to do this forever.
Right.
And then now they're unheard of.
I mean, music is such a great comparison for that. Because if you think of some artists you maybe listened to 10 years ago, and are they still around?
I mean,
Like,
Drake was the artist of the decade, and his stuff now is very different than it was 5 years ago, 10 years
Right.
ago, and then
Like,
but
look at
other
like
people that
Maroon
didn't change.
5, I guess, is an example that comes to mind. Because
Where's Nelly at?
their early stuff was just like, oh, it's sort of like indie rock, and now they're just like straight up like they just follow what's popular with music at the time, and that keeps them successful.
Well, yeah.
It also keeps them like their head above water, because if you're just like, oh, okay, well, this is the kind of content I like making, this is the kind of content I'm going to continue making, I don't care if people watch, this is my channel. Then you get sort
Right.
of like, and I'm not throwing anybody under the bus here, but Wings of Redemption is a huge example. He refuses
I
to
was going to
change.
say that earlier, actually.
He refuses to change how he makes content and what content he makes. And times just
some people just get too comfortable in what they're
Right.
doing, and they're like, "Oh, this is working. It's going to work forever," or "This is comfortable. This I don't want to make it better. I don't want to work to improve it.
Right.
I don't want to change." And
it's worked before, so why isn't it now?
like for me, like I always have to be doing something I enjoy. Like I'll never follow a trend just because I don't like it, despite what some people thought with like Fortnite. There were a
Right.
lot of people
Same
that
as
thought
me and
I
you with
played
Fortnite.
There were a lot of
Yeah.
people. A lot of people thought I played Fortnite just because it was doing well and it made money. And I genuinely really enjoyed that game.
Played Fortnite from day one.
Yeah, and that's just how it goes. And now it's like I'm really enjoying COD, and those videos are doing great. And over the years, that's always the way it's been. I don't really follow trends, but like it just happens to be that the things I like, a lot of other people also like, and so it becomes a trend.
Right.
And it's about like realizing, okay, well, I don't think this is doing as well as it used to. I'm not really enjoying it as much as I used to, so it should change.
Mhm.
You know,
I remember when Fortnite first started popping off and Epic was trying to promote it. I think I, or myself, and maybe Scott
we did
like
Save the World.
we did like
I was there too.
we did a sponsor deal with Epic where they're like, "Hey, we promote our new game." And I remember we all did the video. We all sort of hopped off, and Tyler even specifically was like, "I don't know if this game is going to gain any traction. Like, I don't really see
Because
myself
this was
playing
the
this."
Save the World version. It didn't have a BR. This was
Exactly.
just the waves of zombies. You built a base.
Yeah, and
It was cool, but it was like, yeah, I didn't think.
so then when like the BR came out, and I even did a video for the BR when it first
Oh,
dropped.
yeah. I didn't.
Really? See, that's what's hilarious.
They offered me one, and I had already posted like 2 or 3 videos of it, and they're like, "Oh, you're already posting it." I'm like,
Yeah. So
Okay.
I took advantage
cool
of it.
now, Epic,
I
but
actually uploaded a Fortnite video before it was like huge because that was when Epic was trying to grow the game. And I remember talking to you about it. You're like, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be the next big thing. And then you turned out to like it. And I can tell you guys who were listening, it wasn't because it was popular, because at first this guy didn't give a shit. He didn't want to play it. And then he did. And he's like, "Oh, this is fun. Shit. You've always enjoyed shooters. You've always been successful at them."
Did you guys have your logos in the game from the Save World? Because I think
No.
me and a few others
yes,
who were
it's in the
that-
world, but I don't have it myself on my own account because
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't get
same.
like the premium bundle or something. But yeah, it's in the game.
Because
for
we
Save the
were the
World.
first 10 people to do a sponsor deal on Fortnite. It was Save the World, and it was
Before the
it was
Battle
beta.
Royale.
So a lot of us got like our logos in the Save the World, and then now seeing just the behemoth that it is insane.
Yeah. I think the only thing that I have my like entity in or my alias in game wise is when people make me levels on Happy Wheels and they put my logo in it and it looks like a pug that got hit by a car. Like it's rough. But fuck, I appreciate it, y'all. Thank you. I'm
Were you-
finally in a game.
Were you in Dead Realm?
No.
No.
Had nothing to do with Dead Realm.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
I
in
didn't
Dead
touch that.
I'm in Dead Realm.
I didn't even
Mm.
play Dead Realm, so I did. Of course, my character wasn't in it.
Yeah.
That was fun when it first came out.
I mean, I got my not my I'd say my character model in Gmod, but that's
Someone just
That's not me.
Someone
That's-
just threw together a homeless man and put a panda head on him.
that was my request.
Yeah.
Well, you just lucky dick. Not lucky dipped. There we go. Jesus. You and Scott were just like, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Right.
You picked the homeless man, and he just went with it. Because I mean, there was no real reasoning behind the characters that we all chose with the Dorito bag, or I know Evan and I wanted to be like the brothers. And then apart from that, it was just that looks dope. Let's do that.
GTA, it's crazy to think about how much GTA really sculpted your guys' channels. When you
It's
think
literally
back.
all of our like, well,
'Cause that's-
me and Evan specifically, it's our avatars from GTA
Yep.
masks and helmets.
right,
and
like
stuff.
your guys' like marketing, your branding, like all that, like Nogla
Louis?
to an extent, Louis, Delirious. Well,
Well,
did Delirious
Delirious
have the
always-
hockey thing going on before he did that
Uh,
GTA?
I don't think it was before. I think it was just. I think he's always been into like horror games and Jason
Yeah.
Voorhees and all that stuff. And when it was in GTA, he was like, "Oh, I'm definitely
But
going to
that
use the
definitely
Jason
brought out
mask
the
and-
whole raccoon thing
Yeah.
with him and Batcoon and
Because I don't really know much about Delirious. I know we all don't really know much about Delirious.
Well,
but
that's- yeah,
the
that's all
one
of us.
thing that I do know about Delirious is he loves getting like action collectibles.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
as far as like statues and things like that.
Mhm.
Like I'm pretty sure he posted of him getting like a giant like Venom mask or something like that.
I saw that.
And
Yeah,
it's
he posts stuff like that on his
insane.
Instagram. He's
Yeah.
got like crazy statues and stuff.
If I ever met him, I would like to eventually meet him or know what he looks like or anything.
You know, maybe
what is your
someday.
name? I've known you for 9 years.
I just
What's
want
your
to go out
actual
to
name?
dinner with this guy.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
I would love to see that man's collection of stuff.
Oh
Because
yeah.
it's good. Oh, it would be insane.
I would love to go tour his house, and if he doesn't want us to see him, he could just go lock himself in the bedroom
behind the closet.
I'll just go through the
throw a
museum.
blanket over him.
in his house, and then I'll be like, "All right, Delirious, I'm peacing out. You can come out now."
Just tell Luke to like give you a guided tour. Cartoons.
Like, hey,
But
Luke,
yeah,
hit
no,
up
I feel like
Delirious.
we've all done a good job of adapting over the years
I agree.
as a group, individually,
Oh yeah,
and I think we're all at another point. So I think we can kind of like I guess we can wrap up our kind of review of the decade with the last year,
Yeah.
which for you guys was your tour.
Yeah.
For me, like doing glitch and trying to like change up my content.
Do you want to show it off?
Back there.
They
You
can
it.
see it.
But
It's
just like
whatever.
working on projects outside of YouTube, there's another big project that me and some friends are working on that we've teased on like Twitter and stuff. Nobody really knows what it is, but we're excited about it. But in general,
we got trade off as well.
yeah, trade off, and then, but yeah, you guys had the tour. That's like the biggest thing.
Oh,
That's
man.
crazy.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's
So I guess just take us through like where did the idea come from?
So I mean, the idea for me, I mean, I say it in a lot of like interviews or podcasts I do, but I want 1 million stories for my grandkids, and I really mean that. So for me, I want to be able to just experience things. You know, we're in weird positions in life where we have people who follow us and who enjoy our stuff, and they want to see what's going on. So there was no real like, there's no one really touring. Jacksepticeye had a tour. Philip DeFranco had his own tour, and I was like, screw it. You know, I want to go. I want to go see places. I want to travel. I want to go meet fans in places that we don't normally go to.
yeah, it should be
so-
anywhere, honestly, because
yeah.
we sit at home.
but the idea for it took a while. So
Yeah,
it was
how
2
did you go
years,
from like, oh, we make gaming videos to we're gonna do a live performance? Like,
which is 2 hours long.
because I mean the tour is over, so at this point you can
Yeah.
kind of talk about like the like you guys did kind of a little bit of stand up and like storytelling.
It
You
may
guys-
not be over.
Oh,
It may not be
okay.
Yeah,
Well, then I don't want
yeah.
to spoil too much. Then, but there was
It's fine.
some video games were played, some stand up comedy, some improv,
Yeah, I mean,
some like
there were
skits and
so
stuff.
many different ideas. Like the original plan was for me to be suspended. I don't know if I ever told you this. I wanted to come down and make a song for the intro of the tour. And the idea was me playing guitar and singing / screaming / moaning into this mic of like I'm being suspended from the ceiling and it's coming down from the ceiling. Suspended
Like the
playing
SpongeBob
guitar.
meme?
Yeah, exactly like the
SpongeBob
SpongeBob meme. Exactly. There was a lot of different ideas.
Anthony's
that
glad that one didn't make the cut.
Yeah,
Wow.
so am I. There's a lot of different ideas.
Instead, you well, I'm not going to say what you did instead on the video, but it was graphic.
It is graphic and it's hysterical. My mom loves it.
No, it's good.
You ever watched a man give birth to a man?
Or a man
Come
give
see our show in
or a
Europe.
man give birth to himself. Yeah, if you're watching that on drugs, Jesus, my God, have mercy on your soul. But about a year into it, I was like, I know I could do this tour by myself, but I feel like the dynamic between having someone else on stage and kind of having that back and forth would be something that's
It takes a lot of pressure off yourself as well as just adds the possibilities too. Yeah,
Right.
So
and then with Anthony, we would do a lot of like higher or lowers together. Would you press the buttons or things like that? So I asked you, saying like, "Hey, I want to do this tour. It's kind of like it's a bit of comedy, a little bit of that. I'm not really sure where it's going, but do you want to be a part of it?" And you said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And that was a year into it. So we worked in the Real Good Touring office. The Real Good Touring is the people who did it. They're a company that's under Game Grumps. So you had like Aaron from the Game Grumps in every meeting. He was kind of helping us going over everything.
Yep.
And they were like, a normal tour is like 5, 6, 7 dates long. And I said, for me, a big reason why I wanted to do this is I understand the stages won't be as big, which they ended up being massive, which is insane.
Yeah.
They're kind of terrifying, to be honest with you. But I wanted to go around and experience places like Oklahoma City or Pennsylvania or places I would never normally go to because there's no like gaming conventions there. It's the reason why we go to Boston every year. The reason we go to Seattle is because that's where the gaming conventions are. We use gaming conventions
LA.
as a way to just hang out with people online. So I want to go explore, and that's why I put forth 27 days, 27 different dates over 3 months living in a bus.
that's exhausting to think about.
28 total shows.
28 total shows, including the trial one, and I loved every single second of that.
I remember when the tour was over, Anthony, you were talking about how like you missed being on the road actually.
Yeah,
Which-
because you know.
I mean, I know like
Well, hold on. Let's back up for a second because
Yeah.
originally, before the initial trial show was June or July 16th, and then the actual
June.
tour started at the beginning of September. And I remember that you were having crazy panic attacks for like 2 hours before coming on stage for the first one because I guess I could do a little bit of a spoiler. He comes onto stage in a bag.
Yeah.
Don't ask questions. It's a strange show. And the idea of you having like panic attacks in this bag and in the green room, I've done a few little stage things before at Insomnia and things like that, so I knew kind of roughly how to work a crowd.
Yeah.
But you used to be in a band and you were a drummer.
That's
and there's
it.
drummers in the band.
I was gonna say,
you're not
yeah.
really like main stage.
Nobody
Well,
gives a
one
shit
of
about
my
you in the
questions
back.
was how did you prepare for it? So how did you prepare for that whole like very new experience, very different from being behind the computer screen?
Because you nearly dipped out.
Yeah. No, I I'm gonna be totally honest with you guys. What was I at that time? 29 years old. Being on stage was probably the scariest thing I'd ever experienced in those 29 years, and I handled it. I feel like the only way I could,
You handled it bloody well.
which was having a lot of panic attacks, half a bottle of whiskey with Craig, and some of the finest legal Los Angeles marijuana that I could find. Your boy went out on stage not knowing where he was at, which was good, because if I did know where I was at, I probably wouldn't have been able to do it.
There was we're gonna do a video talking about tour memories and things like that, but there's a few times where whenever there's a state that had legal weed, you used to go for it. So there's there's a few nights on stage where we have like, it's a lot of improv, so we kind of banter back and forth and see where we go. But because it isn't scripted, they don't really know what they're gonna say next. So when he's blasted off his tits, I would set up a punchline and he would just stare at me, forgetting everything I just said. Staring. Anthony, fucking come on. He's like, oh, hey. It's like 1,000 people in the audience.
Yeah. I mean, that's the beauty of live entertainment, though, is that they get to experience sort of the things that you guys don't see in our YouTube videos, because with editing, you can just chop it out. If you make a mistake. But if you're live on stage, like there's been times where we both stumbled over our words, would be like, yeah, and that's how New York. And the people would be like, what the fuck did he just say? And I'd be like, I don't know what I just said. You don't know what I just said. Let's just carry on and pretend it never happened. He did it during one of the most, I'm not going to, let's not cover what you were saying. I don't want to spoil it, but.
I mean, I can say it because I'm going to have to change up a little bit.
You're going to change up a lot a bit, but
just for the new show. But we were playing the biggest venue on our tour.
New York City.
It was Times Square. Yep. It was New York City, and we're playing the PlayStation Theater.
And they were the toughest crowd. I am going to say that.
It was the New Yorkers.
They were
tough ass New Yorkers.
Every crowd was
insane. Say something funny up there. Yeah. What the fuck are you talking about? Who the fuck are these guys?
Throw the bagels.
Some dude just told his buddies, hey, come to this show, watch these YouTubers. Who the fuck are these guys?
But the show is nearly sold out at 1,400 people. And there's a part of my stand-up bit where at the end up, I say the line, the best thing that ever happened to me came from the worst thing that ever happened to me. And I get to the very end of my punchline, and the crowd is just sitting there waiting for this. I'm like, all right, the whole reason why I want to tell you guys the story is for this reason. And my brain shut off. I felt my brain just go furr. And in front of this New York crowd, 1,400 people, Times Square, New York, I go, the best thing to ever happen is from the worst thing. And because of the worst, it was, and you came on mic backstage going, what the fuck are you trying to say?
See, that's why you tour with somebody else. Because when you have a stroke on stage like Craig did that night, you have somebody come out and sort of take the pressure off. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I'm like, I need to get out there.
Melted.
I was at the Nashville show, obviously, because I'm in Nashville.
Yep.
And by then, you had done most of the dates, right? This was the last leg.
Shows,
so,
yeah.
like, it was pretty smoothed out, and it was really good. The show was really good. So, like, there was no slip-ups or mistakes that I noticed.
Yeah.
Obviously, there may have been, but you don't notice it in the crowd. Everything was going smoothly.
Right.
So,
and that's the thing.
It was really cool to watch.
The show is... It is something I was never sure about with live entertainment. Like, when you watch a stand-up comedian or, like, a performance... I was never sure how much of it was truly scripted, how much of it was repetition, how much of it is just sort of off the cuff, like let's just go with it. When Craig and I would go out on the set or on the stage, we would usually just have a bullet pointed list of like 8 or 9 things.
8 things, yeah.
Of course, we'd practiced and we'd gone over what we were going to do, but we never really had a scripted written down like, this is what I say at this point.
No.
And that makes me appreciate stand-up comedians because they're on stage by themselves for an hour. And they probably have stories that they've written and gone over in their brains. But when they're on stage, they're just letting it rip for an hour straight. And I respect that so much more now because it's exhausting.
Because what ended up happening is we would say things. The earlier shows are kind of like trials. So we would say things and we would see how the crowd would react.
Yeah.
If they react badly,
you got to try out, try jokes, try the way you say certain.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
So by the time the show was like fully down, I would say we were about 7 shows in. I would say the San Francisco show is when me and you both went, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
And then for the rest, 21 shows or 20 shows or whatever it was,
ironing out.
It was ironing out. But the thing about it is if you're ever going to go to a show, always try and go to the latter shows on no matter what comedy show it is.
Yeah.
Because if we think back to Toronto, which is the first show that we did, that's that must have been such a garbage show in comparison to like the last few shows.
That's our perspective,
no,
though.
of course.
For
but, like,
someone who paid for those tickets, the people in Toronto probably thought it was the greatest thing they've ever seen.
yeah, I mean, but in comparison to what we were doing towards the end, where we added like lighting effects and fog effects, and like we took bits out, we added a lot of bits in. The initial show was like an hour and 15, hour and 30. The last show recording, because we recorded the first show in LA and we recorded the last show in Indianapolis. The last show is recording was 2 hours and 23 minutes long. We added an hour onto the show in a matter of 27.
And that just came from comfort. We
Yeah.
didn't add anything. It was just our
just
stories
like-
became more fleshed out. The jokes were
Yeah.
better. The bits where people come up on stage
Exactly.
and participate, we had fully gotten through all the wrinkles and how to handle that sort of situation. And
Yep.
It's just like doing a presentation at school. You know, you got to do a 5-minute long presentation. You get up there and
Yeah.
you've written out 5 minutes worth of things.
Yeah.
You've practiced it 5 minutes. You get up there and you're nervous and you just
you go through it in 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's just, you're done in
Yeah.
like 2.5 minutes. So I guess over the time, you know, as the nerves go away and the jokes kind of more
Oh, yeah.
fleshed out, and you
Yeah.
get better at like keeping the story going without losing people. Yeah,
Right.
that's crazy. Got
And
an
one-
hour longer.
And then one thing that people say is how, you know, I get a lot of stage fright because I mean, I know you've kind of seen it and we kind of did it together. You never really saw it before going out. I saw it a few times
No.
before the tour, but everyone's like, there's so many people out there. How do you hold it together? The one thing that a lot of people don't realize is the spotlights that are above us, because we're obviously very, very lit up.
Yeah.
And your eyes, you know, they focus on the light. So what ends up happening is you don't actually see the crowd.
Not really.
You see maybe the 1 or 2 rows, and the rest of it is just darkness.
It's just like silhouettes. Like, you know, when you're in a movie theater and you're watching and you can just see like the shapes of heads
Yeah.
in the rows in front of you. That's what we see on stage looking out. Like the first probably, like you said, 2 or 3 rows, they're like clear.
Yeah.
Then it gets darker and darker. And like anything beyond like the first 10 rows, I don't know who the hell's there.
Yeah,
It could be empty for all I know.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
They were all empty.
Yeah. I know.
After
It's
the
just
first
the whole
3
entire
rows.
show is a Friends laugh track.
somebody had to laugh, I guess.
So, but no, I mean, Jesus, tour was insane,
Yeah.
and
So-
especially living in coffins for, you know.
Oh, yeah,
because we
that
were on a
was-
bus.
We were
Yeah,
on a bus
we
the
didn't
entire
fly.
time. No, and
Yeah,
did
you
the
would,
Rockstar
you would fly
experience.
out for a leg and then
Yeah.
you would bust a leg, right?
Yeah.
How many-
So
That's
so we had 7 legs. So for the leg that you were on, we flew into Nashville. We came here to this house, to Tyler's house, 2 days before the actual show,
And he
But
wasn't here.
You were in Miami. Yeah. So you were in Miami. Kelly was here, and then we and him, we just went golfing with Tyler's parents whilst you were in Miami.
my
right.
parents like them more than me.
And then we went to the zoo and played with little fuzzy animals.
I know. And I saw a giraffe. It was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. But
And then from Nashville, we did Nashville. Then we did Orlando.
Yeah, you drove from Nashville
then
to Orlando.
No,
yeah, that's right.
Was
we
it
did
Atlanta?
Nashville and Orlando.
You did-
from Orlando to New Orleans.
New Orleans, and then Atlanta.
Right.
You did literally a star.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was
like
like-
12
backward.
hours each drive.
It was
That's
a
crazy.
backwards route.
Yeah, so in talking about that and the routing, and we get asked a lot, like, why didn't you guys come to this particular city? Craig and I have nothing
Nothing.
to do with that. There's booking agencies. There's so many people behind the scenes that take care of these things. I knew what cities we were going to when you guys did when they announced them.
Yep.
Because that's when that list was finalized and clear.
Yeah, because I remember you guys weren't even sure if there was a Nashville show. Like when we were
Right.
talking early on, you're
Right.
like, yeah, Nashville's on the list, but we don't know whether or not that's going to be chosen. And I'm like, well, I hope so, but if not, I'll fly to another
Yeah,
show and go
'cause it's-
see it or whatever. But
Yeah, because we were thinking like
we're not the only touring group.
right? 'Cause I
Yeah.
would like
We
a,
gotta
like a
fight for
North
rooms.
Carolina show. So maybe Delirious cartoons like Mr. Beast, and you know everyone could come out.
Yeah.
And then I would like to want to do a Minneapolis show because that's where Sammy's parents are from. I want to do a Vegas show because
It's Vegas.
Vegas. So we didn't really get any choice,
No.
but I'm super happy with the route.
Oh yeah, and that's what's cool is that it gives us an option to, if we wanted to do another short run in the U.S., we could hit cities that we didn't hit, like Vegas, Boston,
Yep.
Miami, because we only touched one city in Florida, and it's a large state. So
Yeah.
okay, I have one last follow up question then. If you do more, if you were to do more,
yeah.
what would you do differently? Or if you did another tour, like what would you do differently, if anything?
So I'm not in the
Keep the
process.
same people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Either you personally, or the show, or the bits, or just anything, I guess.
I mean, there are a few things that will obviously need to change on a few bits just because of verbiage and wording and you know, life changes and shit.
Mhm.
But also, I think what would be cool is not even necessarily changing the show, but just knowing that going into it, we have this whole new energy of, all right, we've done this before. How can we do the same thing but make it even better than ever?
Right.
And it's that sort of drive to just make it the best show you can for the people who paid money to come out and see you, took time off work, like spent money on your merch. Like, I don't think we really need to change this particular show, but I think in the future, if we do tour again together, it will have to be something completely new and different.
Well, I would say a lot of the bits we can keep, but I think they would just need updated with more relevant bits. Even what we were saying earlier about, having to change and evolve with the times, because we could do exactly the same show this year, but I don't know if it would go down just as well as if we tweaked it.
For Europe or the US?
For Europe.
Well, I would imagine we would do pretty close to the same show. I don't know if
we've actually told people that yet.
Well, no, but whatever.
There you go, Tyler. First episode.
Whatever.
Insider scoop.
No areas have been confirmed, but Craig and I have heard your guys' calls, and we want to continue doing this. I want to do
Europe really badly. I really want to do Europe.
Yeah, I mean, of course, nothing is set in stone yet, but it's out there. It's something that we're definitely working on behind the scenes to bring the show to more people, and
even Australia.
Yeah,
potentially.
If it comes your way, definitely go see it, because I really enjoyed it. It was really good.
Yeah, thank you.
For sure.
Really appreciate that.
And that's not just like, oh, those are my friends. Like, that's not me just like, oh, those are my friends up there. Like, that's so cool. I'm proud of them. No, it was genuinely like really funny. Like, my parents went. They had a great time.
Yeah.
Like, my sister went. Yeah. She had a great time.
We told nobody what the show was because we just wanted you guys to see it.
I didn't want to know either.
It's an experience.
I didn't want to know. Yeah.
I mean, that's why like a lot of people were complaining. It's like, oh, you told people to stop recording before your shows and all this kind of stuff. It's like, it's a very crowd interaction based show that I feel like watching it online, you might not be able to get the same vibe as if you were there in person and you're interacting with people, or, like if someone's heckling, you heckle back and the whole thing goes crazy. It's an experience. It's not just kind of like you sit back on a YouTube video and watch it. Like, we want to get people involved.
Right. And it's, there's of course the argument, which is, some of us don't get to go to that show. And I'm like, well, I didn't get to go to the Drake concert I wanted to go to, but there's a chance in the future that I can. It's that chase of like, not everything needs to be open and ready to the world. That's, I respect when I go to concerts and they're like, please put your phones away and just enjoy the fucking show.
It's not as special to go to a show if
you're watching it through your phone screen.
Watching it through your phone screen, or you got to see it beforehand from someone else, or everyone gets to see it. Like, it's a special event. Like,
right, it's special for us.
If you really want to see it, you got to, go to the city, whatever, if it's not in your city, go to another city. Go like,
it's an excuse to travel, to do something new, to get out and try new things. And a lot of people, and I'm not trying to like butter our own bread here, but a lot of people would reach out to us after the show and be like, thank you for this. Cause I haven't gone out. I haven't been to a live event before, and now I feel like more comfortable trying that. So
and the type of people, it's going to be like-minded people. Like, that's the same with gaming conventions, obviously. When you go to a gaming convention, we're surrounded by gaming nerds, and it's like, this is great. Like, a lot of these people, you can tell, don't normally get out like this.
Yeah. No.
But then they're at these conventions where they're around, people, like-minded people, and they come out of their shell.
It's even what you said. So we would do a 45-minute Q&A every single night for VIPs, and then the actual show is about an hour and a half, 2 hours long. But you said something after every Q&A session, which I feel like resonates for this bit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's after the end of every Q&A, and I would address the crowd. And if you guys are listening to this, I'm sure a lot of you can relate, which is with us living behind computer screens and stuff, a lot of us don't get out, and we have social anxieties or just anxieties within ourselves. But if you go to a show like that, or if you go to like a gaming con, you have to have this mindset that all those people are there for the same reason, is because they enjoy the same shit. Like, even if you go and see like Star Wars in theaters, you see everybody dressed up. Like, imagine that, but with like 800, 900, 1,000 people at a show to see two YouTubers who everybody there is watching. Like, our shows were an experience for people to not come out and see us, but to experience something new, to make friends, to leave with like, that was one of the coolest experiences of my life. Not because Craig and I are idiots on stage, but because of everything else going on, which is, I made new friends. I got to experience something new. I got over my social anxieties of leaving my house and being uncomfortable. Like, that's what we did making this show.
Yeah.
I was fucking terrified to go on stage. Now I'm like, I need to be back up there.
Right. Because a lot of people, like, we would say, everyone's here for a reason, whether you like me, Anthony, or for some reason both.
Yeah.
And, people came away from that show and they would text us saying like, hey, I made 5 more friends at your show. We made like a Demonetized Tour Discord so everyone can come and hang out. Even before the show, whenever we were waiting, like some venues would have, because we were playing Pokemon Go at the time. Some venues would have Poke Gyms, and they would have raids, like 5-star raids.
Yeah,
so
we raid with them.
So when we were waiting, instead of having like, Demonetized Tour up there, we would say, a raid starting now, take out your phone. And there'd be like 20 people who were just waiting in the crowd, me and him, and all the people who were working on it were all just doing this Pokemon Go raid all together. I think it was fantastic. But people came away. We had 5 proposals sex proposals on tour where people were like, we met through like my Discord, or we met in Anthony's comment section, or there was one occasion where someone was wearing Anthony's merch in school, and it's like, oh, you watch Anthony, I watch Anthony too, and they ended up marrying each other because of it.
Yeah.
So the idea of people coming out and sharing those experiences is insane.
Yeah. It was.
And now I'm gonna be a best man at someone's wedding.
Yeah. No, it was a really wild experience, and I'm glad we got to do it. I'm glad you brought me on for it. It was a lot of fun.
Because Anthony was saying himself how, he was very, very close to just calling it quits.
Yeah.
He was like, I can't do it. This is too much for me. I don't know if I can do it. And I was even telling people in the tour group, because you didn't answer your phone for 2 weeks. And I could tell something was going on. I was like, I think Anthony might bitch out of this.
Yeah.
So,
I was close.
If he does, what's the backup plan? And we actually made a fully fledged backup plan. The show was only an hour long.
Yep.
But we made a backup plan to try and make it work. And I'm so glad you came through.
Oh,
because now not only can you, not only do you miss stage, but you also said you wanted to try and do your own comedy tour. Because for me, I'm trying to release music this year, and I want to try and eventually do a music tour. Whilst for you, you said you really want to keep doing comedy, which I think is fantastic. I think you're a naturally funny guy.
Well, thank you. No, that's definitely the goal. After everything settles down a little bit, because I'm still traveling like crazy and having fun, I'm going to start writing my own, jokes and testing them out at comedy clubs. Not with the name BigJigglyPanda. It's not going to be a YouTuber tour. It's just going to be me as a comedian doing stand up.
It'll be Tony.
Right. It'd be
Tony Brown.
Tony.
Oh, Joe and Tony. Let's find a guy named Joe who's really funny apparently and just go on tour with him. But
just go to New York. They're all called Joe.
Hey Joe, got any funny jokes?
No, but I own a pizza place.
Oh, dude, Joe's Pizza
Joe's
delicious.
Pizza is delicious.
If you guys ever go to New York City, get Joe's Pizza. It's like just this huge, cheesy, godly slice. It's only like $1.50. It's greasy. They yell at you if you use too large of bills when you buy it. Like, it's legit pizza. I went in there one time and bought 2 slices for like $4, and I gave the guy 20s. He goes, "Oh, you fucking got?"
Get the fuck out!
I'm like, "What do you mean? It's only $4." He's like, "I need like a 5." I'm like, "Well, I give you a 20. Give me my change." And I got my pizza and left. But yeah, it's like I got yelled at for giving this guy money. New York's great.
Yeah.
But no, I want to write my own comedy show and go from there and test the waters at comedy clubs. Because if I don't, the thing with our tour is that people who came out, we could have literally like dropped our pants and took a shit on stage, and they would have been like, "Woo, yeah, this is what I paid for."
Yeah.
But a comedy crowd doesn't know who the hell I am. There is no expectations. There is no like, there's
no
the ceiling is high, but the floor is low.
Yeah.
Whereas with our crowd, the ceiling and the floor are like right here.
Yeah.
So that's what's scary, but that's why I want to try. But it'll be cool. It's opened up more doors. We met a lot of people in the booking world and the professional touring world, and
some of them are freaks, but we love them.
You would like me to call you?
just
Okay.
oh my god, that is fucking amazing.
Okay, well, welcome back. Sorry, we had a little break there. We lost one of the cameras in it. We're brand new. Welcome back to the
We're figuring this out.
podcast.
There it
we
is.
don't know what the name is, and we don't know how to actually even make it.
You do realize because this episode, it's just gonna be called the podcast.
It's gonna have a name. Hopefully, by the time it's uploaded, it has to have a name. You guys will know before I do, apparently. Anyway, we lost one of the cameras, so I don't know what we did with the video. It might have just been my face the whole time while these two talked. But
Yeah.
we're back.
Or
We
we'll cut it if
wrapped
it
up-
wasn't good.
Wrapped up the whole tour, which was essentially wrapping up the whole last
last
decade.
year.
And well, now
For
it's-
us.
it's 2020.
I know.
Time to look into the next decade.
Yeah.
So I just want to know, what's to come for each person. I mean, I'm gonna talk about what I got going on as well. So
I said, do you want to start? We're just gonna work.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I could kind of.
I mean, you mentioned like possibly the comedy stuff. So I guess just content wise,
Mhm.
personal life wise, plans wise, dreams, aspirations, comedy shit, whatever.
Absolutely. No,
Give me some of that Dreamville money.
some of the. Give me some of the dream money. These hoes got dreams too. Next time you see J. Cole, tell that motherfucker. Anyway, God, that's such a good album. So yeah, to recap a little bit, writing my own comedy stuff obviously is on there. Craig and I continuing on with the demonetized stuff.
Yep. Taking that worldwide.
And possibly even, looking into the future of us touring together. But one thing you and I talked about is I'm a very, I keep to myself. I'm I'm one of those YouTubers when you guys will be like, oh, have you seen such and such's new video? I'll be like, who? Who is that? And they'll be like, it's like one of the biggest gamers in the world. Huh? Like, who's that? Like, I'm very to myself.
It's not hard to do that these days, though, because everybody focuses on their own stuff, and so many people are blowing up in so many different things.
Like, for example, I've literally not watched a single full Mr. Beast video. Like, I'm just out of touch with the YouTube world. When you do it full time, it's not what I want to do in my free time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent here. But as far as like content goes for me, like, and what you and I were talking about is I'm trying to be a little bit more involved with friends and people in my life and being more uplifting. And one thing for my content, you guys probably all know me as the guy that like yells and screams a lot. Like, I'm really trying to get away from that because it's not healthy for me and it's not good content for you guys. Who wants to watch a guy scream for 30 minutes? Like, who's clearly not happy?
I mean,
there's a lot of people. Sure, that's
I really
a rhetorical
enjoyed that
question.
time you broke the TV. Like, that was
that was good stuff for everybody watching.
Or coming over to your house yesterday and seeing all the holes in the drywall.
Yeah.
See, that's why he doesn't want to replace drywall anymore.
No, see, it's old, but I really want to branch out from just gaming. I'm not the world's best gamer. I'm not the most enthusiastic gamer, but I do have a good personality, and I've used gaming as a platform for that. So now it's time to explore other options, whether that be vlogging through travel or more of comedic bits and sketches, or even just playing games that are stupid and having fun. Like, we played Zookeeper Simulator. Like, I'm down with doing gaming stuff if it's like that.
I'm trying to do more like,
but I can't
outside the mainstream. Just
like I can't upload
stuff.
Call of Duty 6 days a week for 6 months. Like, that's just not me. It's never who I've been.
Those kind of games really show off personality, though, like Zookeeper, because it puts you in scenarios that aren't just the regular same old.
Right. And, the whole podcast thing, Craig and I have been talking about working on some stuff. Tyler is clearly doing this because we're here doing it.
Don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it.
We're there. We don't know what it's called or how we're doing this, but here we are. It's getting done. And that's honestly a lot of how things get done in this industry is just got to try it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I've like kind of learned over the years is like,
it's not a how-to.
I'm never going to know how to do something unless I just do it. And yeah, sure, you can watch like stuff how to set. Like, I looked up how to buy all this equipment and like what equipment would be good. And then even still, we set it up and we had a camera die. But
it happens.
It takes time to learn. And I know that like I've gotten to the point where I get like super like I get like paralysis of the analysis, like what people say, where it's like I sit there and think, I overthink shit. Like if I'm gonna do it, I'm like, oh, I want to make sure everything's perfect, but
right, and then never execute.
But then it never happens. So like I've gotten to the point now where it's like, okay, this is something I want to do. I don't know if I'm gonna be good at it. I don't even know if I'm gonna enjoy it. I think I will, so I'm just gonna do it. And that's kind of where this podcast came from. For one, is I just want to have more conversations, because with my type of content, most of our content, it's just 10 minutes of us laughing, having a good time with friends. We don't ever talk about, what's going on behind the scenes as much, unless it's on social media. We don't talk about our plans. We don't talk about some of the business aspects of it. And
and such a small percentage
general.
of our followers are even on social media. It's like, how many subs are you at? 5, 6 mil?
7 million, yeah.
And you're at 5 or 6? Well, if you add your two together, you're like 7.
7.
I'm hitting 2, but I don't have 2 million followers on Instagram
I
or
don't
Twitter.
have anywhere close to 7. I have like 1.5 million on Twitter and Instagram.
When we do talk about the stuff that's not videos, only like a fraction of our audience is truly seeing that.
Right.
Like if a tweet gets 1,000 likes and we have 7 million followers, that's such a small fraction. So doing stuff like this where people can actually get to know us, is more exciting than just being an alias online for the rest of my life, because I don't want to do that. Being a personality is cool, but I want it to be Anthony, not just Panda. Like, I know you don't want to just be Mini. You don't want to just be WILDCAT forever.
And as like we've come to see, like a lot of our audience has kind of grown up with us, so they're not, maybe some of them are starting to get interested in like business aspects of things, or some of them want to like start thinking of other plans and possibilities out there, or they want to know more about our personal lives and what things we're trying to do personally and stuff like that. And so there's definitely, I feel like, going to be more and more of an audience of it as time goes. And I personally want to just make more connections and talk to more people. Like I'm enjoying doing this with you guys, and I'm going to do more with you guys in the future and our other friends and stuff. But I want to talk to other people that I don't know super well. I've met several times, hung out with or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't really know them.
Right.
And so this is kind of an opportunity to like,
well, it's the whole thing of like, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And for this, you could say to yourself, oh, but like, what if it's, the audio is wrong or the video is wrong? I've already set myself at a standard, having all these subscribers. What if it, all this stuff? At the same time, this is episode 1.
I mean,
as time goes on, people are going to come back to this episode and you're gonna be on episode like 50. Everyone's gonna be like, wow, that first one was
And
shit.
you've done a lot of like different stuff on your like new Craig Thompson channel, like that channel in general. Like you've been doing gaming for the last 6 years of your life, and now you're like, let's try this channel.
Right.
And you're just trying stuff and doing stuff and
Exactly. I mean, like for me,
killing it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I just want to have fun more than anything else. You know, I try not to kind of hold myself inside a specific box. I want to have fun, you know, with whoever doing whatever. I'm here to just, like I said before, I'm here to just experience life.
Right.
Because with gaming, I feel like it's fantastic and I'll always be a part of it because it's something I grew up with and I'm passionate about. But the idea of maybe like traveling around, going to see things, like, you know, like Anthony was saying before about, you know, starting your own podcast or things like that, just to get to go out there and meet people. And it's life experiences. Because with YouTube, it's especially in gaming, it's like a glorified office job because you're sitting at your desk for 12, 15 hours a day. You don't really get to experience the outside world. We made a lot of sacrifices to be here, whether it's family, sleep, social life, whatever.
All the
And
above.
now it's got to a point where, you know, we're nearly a decade deep into this. And I'm like, well, what else is there?
Right.
You know, I have a lot of plans for the gaming channel. I have a lot of plans for the Craig Thompson channel. Podcast, like I was saying, I'm trying to release music this year because that's been something I've been working on for like 5 years. Like I said before, I did music production at college, so I want to try and eventually get that out to the world. That I could have released stuff last year, but kind of the whole thing we were talking about before, where I'm just scared because I want to try and make sure it's of a professional quality as much as I can get.
Right.
Because I know I could release anything and there'll be people there to support me, which is fantastic, but I want to make sure that people can respect me as a musician rather than just being another YouTuber musician.
Right.
That scares me.
that was a lot of like
course.
what Evan did and kind of his philosophy behind, like, obviously some of you somehow still don't know, but Evan Vanoss is Rinks as well, the music, his music that he makes. And his whole thing was he wanted to start that without promoting it on Vanoss all the time and saying, guys, this is my music. I'm making this
Right.
music. He would use it as outros and stuff, but his whole philosophy behind it was, I want this to stand on its own.
Correct.
And if people are going to like it, they're going to like it because of what it is and not because Vanoss made it. You know what I
No,
mean? So,
Right.
he's
That's the
smart in
same-
doing that. And
yeah.
It's kind of the root, because I'm still trying to think of my music name. It's the idea of you want people in the music industry because it's a completely different industry.
Yeah.
You know, like I would like to think that we're respected in the gaming industry. So I also want to be respected in the music industry. And if I just shit out stuff and tell people to go, you know, every 20 minutes, go like it, #1 US charts. No, it's so fake. It's facetious. You can see through it. And it's not where I want to be. I want
Right.
to put out my like heart and soul through my music to the world and let them enjoy it. If they don't enjoy it, so be it.
Right.
You know, that as well as obviously Demonetized Tour.
Mhm.
I'm trying. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm trying to work with.
That'd be sick.
I.
You didn't sign an NDA, did you?
That's what I'm trying to think.
Oh,
I'll
boy.
let
Let's
you know
bleep
if I
out.
need to
Let's
cut
bleep
that.
out. He's trying to work with blank on a blank. We can just bleep
There we
that.
go.
I'll let you
Trying
know.
to work on something sick. We're also trying to work on cool stuff. Like I feel like everyone right now has a lot of cool stuff going on behind the scenes, but
We
nobody
can't
can
talk
really,
about it.
like,
Yeah.
you can't talk about it because one, it just
Sometimes
It
you
might
can't 'cause
ruin
it's not
it.
ready, or two,
Yeah.
you legally can.
yeah, exactly. And so, which I think a lot of people, like a lot of us, have exciting stuff like that. So that's
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think we're all at the stage where we just want to go out and enjoy things. You know, like holding ourselves into a tiny little box saying, I have to do this because people think this is the only thing I do. It kills your mental state.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've really experienced in the last year because being 100% honest with you, my mental state hasn't been fantastic. And that's just, you know, being an open book. You know, I go to therapy. I know you go to therapy. A lot of YouTubers do because it's the stress of trying to entertain and making sure that people like you kills you.
Right.
And that's something that really happened to me. And it's the reason why I'm on this break right now. I know I'm technically working.
Your content's on a break.
Yeah, because I need to just work on me.
Yeah, this isn't work, by the way.
No.
This is much easier than what we normally do.
Yeah, it's the stress of life can really get to you, and it's got to the point where it really started to affect me, and I didn't really like the person that I was eventually, you know, turning into.
Yeah.
So I'm here to backtrack, rekindle myself, recalibrate myself, and have a fantastic year.
I'm still enjoying like doing gaming stuff, but it's very game dependent. Like
Right.
as Fortnite started to kind of go downhill, it was like, oh man, I don't
struggle.
I'm not enjoying this. There's nothing really popular out right now. And then Minecraft all of a sudden started to take back up. And I was like, I've always enjoyed Minecraft, but it was just never like something I really dove into. So then we all were like on a server and started playing, and that was like really, really
Those
fun
videos are
for a
hilarious.
few months.
Right.
That was a lot of fun. And then it was like, okay,
But it was
well,
a breath of fresh air that
the
we all
hype for
needed.
this has kind of died down. We beat the whole, you know, vanilla Minecraft experience, and mods at that point aren't as interesting. So I was like, okay, well, now what's next? Okay, well, Modern Warfare came out. That was really fun for me for another few months. We're in January now. I'm still enjoying it, but I can tell like it's gonna taper off soon. And when it tapers off, it's like I don't know what else to play, and that's why I want to like start working on other stuff. So that way, like,
Right.
I still feel like I have not like there's no ceiling on how like obviously I don't have like the biggest YouTube channel on the platform,
Right.
anywhere near that, and it can always do
Which is
better. It
crazy.
can always grow. And I really would like it to grow, but at the same time, it's like I want to have other stuff that I'm working on outside in case maybe YouTube's not something I'm super like. I'm still gonna post YouTube videos and make content, but it maybe maybe I'm working on other stuff outside, or maybe it's not gaming. Like I've mentioned to you that I want to do more stuff. I'm trying to get my new office set up to where I have a webcam and I can do more in-person stuff, maybe a green screen, goofy stuff like that. And we can play more
to the
dumb games.
webcam side
Yeah.
of Tide of Life.
I might be down, you know.
Hey,
And-
you got a
or
nice
flying
camera you could set up
yeah,
now.
Yeah, or flying out to your place or whatever and
Yeah.
recording some stuff, or you and I going traveling somewhere if we both want to do something like that, and like
Oh, yeah.
that would be really, really fun. And yeah, just want to start trying new things this year, and that's kind of I feel like we're all kind of in that scenario where we all
I
just
feel like a lot of YouTubers
Yeah.
are period. Like you see online, people just saying like, what can I play? Or a lot of YouTubers saying that they don't really know what to do because there's the one thing about YouTube that people don't understand is there's fun games and there's funny games. Fun games, for example, are like Destiny 2. I love Destiny games, but I know that I can't make videos on them because they're going to do trash.
Right.
Because they're fun games, but there's not really
unless
much
you
funny stuff.
unless you build yourself that really niche audience. Like there
Yeah.
are obviously people making Destiny 2 videos, but like if they ever try to leave Destiny 2, most likely like their audience is not going to follow them because it's such a niche audience that we're only there for that.
Right,
We're
exactly.
trying to be more broad, and so like when we try and funnel into a game like that, it's very kind of unique, and yeah, it just usually doesn't work.
So like with fun games and you got funny games, like for example, a fantastic example is Gang Beasts, where it doesn't have a fantastic, crazy following, but just with our humor, we know how to make it really entertaining.
Yeah.
But there's a limit, like
Of
how many
course.
Gang Beast videos can you make? How many stick fight videos
Well,
can you
the
make?
same
Like
is-
I haven't even made
Right.
a single stick fight video. We should play that sometime.
Mm,
Down and play
okay.
some stick
I'm
fight
down.
sometime.
Oh, definitely.
Just don't invite John and Smitty.
Yeah,
That'd be bad.
I've heard.
Yeah, they will bully you into a corner.
We'll play without them. It'll be good fun.
Yeah.
But
Man.
I guess what are some like personal? I guess more just we've all been trying to get in the gym, get
Oh, yeah.
swole. You've been going very consistently. I know you're trying to get back into it. I was going for the last 7 weeks.
You
then
messed
I-
your back up.
Then I hurt my back. On
Yeah.
Explain that one.
There's a 25-pound kettlebell on a warm up. Did the first one, felt a little weird. Did the second one, and just I felt it in my back, shooting pain down my leg. Couldn't really stand, couldn't walk. Had to spend 3 days at home just in the bed. Went to the physical therapist, started doing stretches. It happened to me like a year and a half ago when I was wrestling with my dog. Actually, wrestling with Kino. I was picking him up on the bed, and that same thing happened.
Oh, no.
I'm a tall guy. I've spent the last 6 years of my life sitting at a desk
Yeah.
every day. Just I need to work on strengthening my back.
So
And
what
that was
actually-
why I wanted to go to the gym.
what
I was
actually
like, I want to get
happened?
healthier and strengthen my core. And
Yeah.
What actually happened?
it's a
Like-
herniated disc.
Herniated disc?
Yeah,
Jeez.
for the second time in a year and a
Is it
half.
like
That's
a
what-
bulging disc? Is that
yeah,
what that
bulging
is?
disc. So what happens is one of the disc in your spine bulges out and pushes your sciatic nerve up against the
Ooh.
bone and pinches it.
Yep.
And that causes pain all the way from your lower back all the way down your left leg. And so my left leg is like super numb. It's really hard for me to pick it up. And what you have to do is you have to do stretches where you stretch your lower back and you push that bulge back in to release the tension off that nerve.
Gotcha.
And then I need to strengthen it so that way that bulge doesn't come back out. And it's
Have you ever done chiropractic work?
a super lengthy process. No, I mean, this is more of like a stretching and like muscle thing. So it's not really like, doesn't really have much to do with like
It's a
the
lack
bones.
of that muscle strength
Yeah,
there.
it's just I have a tall back and I sit a lot, so my back has gotten weak. Which is one of the reasons I wanted to get in the gym is like I want to start strengthening that, so that's not a problem and
Yeah.
get in better shape in
Then you
general.
can just be an Instagram thought.
That's
That's
true.
what I'm going
That's
for.
true.
Give me 6 months. My titties are going to be out.
I mean, yeah, I think the opposite is that you want them gone.
You want them in.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Muscular titties.
There you
Oh.
go. There you go. Sorry. I want to
Yeah,
make
'cause-
sure we're clear there.
Because this is the fattest I've ever been. And I hate it. Because normally I'm like a 205, something like that. I used to be hella thin, especially even when I first moved to LA in 2015. I was like thin.
I remember.
Yeah.
I feel like your body has changed more than any person I've known since I met you. Like you were like kind of skinnier, but like not quite skinny when we first met you. And then you like started going to the gym and you like bulked up and then you got real skinny again and you've kind of bulked up again. It's
Yeah.
like,
I'm a
Now you
mess.
look like a meatball.
but
I
like
know.
if there's any, But you are like able to do that though. You are like able to change your body. Like I've never seen someone be like, all right, I'm gonna lose weight, and then you just do it, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna bulk up, and then you just do it. Like
Right.
Well,
So
I mean, the bulking up was through depression.
well, depression's
I
a good
appreciate
bulker.
that.
You know, it builds.
It is. It depends on how you do it. You can either get like muscle bulking from depression,
Or
or you can
ice
be like
cream.
quart of ice cream a night depression bulking. Once we start looking like Santa Claus.
It's a cosplay I'm working on.
I mean, I've definitely been in the gym actively for probably like the last 10 months
tell
now.
You can tell, honestly.
Thank you. Now, a lot of people have said that, and I've been honing out on Instagram, showing off my fits, my boots, my lack of titties. But like like other things, like I'm, like that's what I said sort of a little bit earlier, and I reached out to you about, which is just personally, I'm trying to be a more supportive, active, and social person, because we all have a lot of impact on the people who follow us, whether we want to admit that or we don't, or just whether we just want to disregard it as we're just people trying to talk. We have influence, and we have to be aware of it. And by being negative and bitching all the time online and being angry in videos, like I'm not being a positive influence.
Yeah, when you messaged me that and we had that kind of conversation, I was like, yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I need to try and be more positive, and I've tried to be, especially on like Twitter, because like that's the thing. Like,
yeah, you're toxic as fuck on Twitter.
Well, the thing is, listen, I know I am, but it's more of like I'm just very opinionated, and I just like I want to speak my mind, and I have 240 characters to do it.
Right.
I don't do it in videos ever. My videos, you'll never see me like, other than maybe a little spout or a little 10-second rant.
Sure.
I'm not uploading 10-minute videos of like what's wrong with Fortnite
Right.
or what's wrong with this game or what's wrong with YouTube or what's wrong with this.
Yeah.
So like I just kind of have Twitter as my main outlet to like voice those opinions, and I'm trying to like, no one really fucking cares, to be honest. So like I'm just gonna try and stay more positive, and I feel like I've tried to do that this year.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
that
it
was
makes
after
you
we
feel
had that
better.
conversation. Yeah, it does.
Just overall, because when you have less toxicity in your mind and you're not constantly worrying about like, man, fuck this, fuck that, blah, 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 you can focus on other things that those thoughts sort of cloud, which is
that was
getting
my
healthy.
thing.
and-
Yeah, you were talking about like gassing up friends. I was like, yeah,
Hell yeah.
Like,
Like,
you've been in the gym, like dope. I'm gonna
Right.
hit the gym. Gas me up too.
Yeah.
You guys went on your tour. That shit was dope. I went. It was super cool.
right.
You posted about like Baltimore not being sold out yet or something. I was like,
Sell this bitch
go,
out. Yeah.
buy it. It's like it's sick. You're gonna enjoy it. So like,
We didn't
We need to
get
do
to
that.
where we're at
good.
alone. And
No.
I don't,
No.
and we won't
And a lot of people
progress
try and like
alone.
knock us for that or whatever. Like you grew because of so and so, or so and so wouldn't be where they are without so and so. But it's like it's all a group
What's
thing.
wrong with that?
Everyone's together. Like no one's where they are. None of us would have gotten where we are by ourselves.
Right.
It's a
Like,
group
no.
effort.
You think Drake got to where he's at
No.
solo? Hell no.
Exactly. It's because he's in a wheelchair. That's why he's a good rapper.
Or maybe it's because he was with Lil Wayne and
Well,
Yeah.
no, well, that's the thing. It's like,
Maybe he's a little bit more important
especially
than the
with
wheelchair.
music, like people come in with collabs or they meet and they slowly kind of work up. Like that's the thing about whether it's movies, a character, like a smaller character in like Harry Potter film, and now all of a sudden they're crazy massive. Like you look at like a John Boyega who went from like really small roles and now all of a sudden he's like one of the faces of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Where it's like no one grows by themselves, whether it's through friends, whether it's through collabs, whether it's through management, whether it's through anything like that. People have their team behind them.
Absolutely.
I have my team, you have your team, you have your team. A lot of teams overlap. That's just the way it is. But no one out there who is a face of anything did it alone.
No, absolutely
Yeah.
not. There's too many obstacles to get to certain points in professional worlds for you to do it alone.
Yeah.
Because once you reach a door and that door is closed, you have to know somebody who can help you open it. And if you don't, then that's where your journey stops.
Yeah.
So for people like even like PewDiePie, people will try to say that PewDiePie is self-made and did it all on his own because he's a solo YouTuber. He very rarely played with other people. That doesn't mean he didn't have a team of 15, 20 people behind him helping him get to that point with management and editors and artists and creative directors. Like,
Even
there's so
girlfriend,
much.
well,
Right.
not wife, but like,
It's just that support.
yeah.
Like that none of these people have done these
Marcia
things.
is Felix's biggest fan. And I love that.
Yeah. Like even like the OGs, like Sark and Hutch, like some of the people who sort of like revolutionized what YouTube is. Did they start off solo? Sure, but they grew as groups. Like Hutch, you think of Hutch, you immediately think of Nanners, Sark.
Yep.
Like Justra, like these older names, like those guys grew together as a group.
Well, it's even same as like, you can pick out any influencer out there and you can say 5 other YouTubers that are surrounded or in and around that group. Like
Yeah.
you look at like Jacksepticeye, for example, right?
Right.
Where he does a lot of videos solo, But when you think of Jacksepticeye, you think of PewDiePie, Markiplier, Lord Minion, whatever it is. Wade, a lot of people who are in and around that. You look at Ninja, you think of Tim, you think of Courage, you think of Lupo, you think of everyone who's surrounding that.
Right.
When you think of Tyler, you think of all of us.
People get way more attached to groups, I feel like, than they do individual people typically.
Even look at
like
Misfits,
because
yeah.
group dynamics, like people enjoy seeing that friendship, they enjoy seeing that camaraderie, they enjoy seeing the different personalities clash or mesh.
Mr. Beast has a
he has
giant
all of his
team
friends,
behind him. Yeah, exactly. All his friends. Even I would talk to Chris a lot, who's one of Mr. Beast, like one of the guys in his videos, and he was saying how they were just high school friends and they just wanted to mess around and do videos, and now he's sitting nearly on 30 million subs. Insane.
You could even take what we're saying and apply it to even, I don't want to say higher, but different career fields. Like look at, let's say Seth Rogen.
Mhm.
Think of Seth Rogen. Who else immediately comes to mind? You think of like James Franco, the guy that writes with Seth Rogen, like Jonah Hill. Like,
yep.
These guys work
and then
together.
You think of Jonah Hill, and then you think of Superbad, and then you think
right.
of, Michael Cera, and then you go from there, and then it just,
right. Like every industry has people who form a small, tight-knit group that are friendly with one another, and then those people, through their own connections, help each other grow. So I think as human nature, we tend to get caught up in like who did what or who did this. If you guys remember comments of like, oh, you're just copying so and so, or PewDiePie did that first, and it's like, okay,
yeah,
that doesn't mean he did it best.
Well,
that doesn't mean I can't add something new to it. And that's a lot of people just want to get caught up in like, well, you grew because of him, or he did this first. And it's like, in the end, who gives a shit? Like,
right.
You still enjoy the content.
If you
right?
enjoy this person's videos, watch them. If
right.
you don't enjoy that person's videos, you don't have to watch them.
It's that easy.
It's a saying that I heard where to be original.
Jesus. The ice cube was like in my mouth and I choked on the bourbon. I'm sorry.
Oh, good. But to be original, it's 75% someone else's work and 25% your own. Which is true, because everything out there has already been done. It's just a matter of putting your unique spin on
my
something
Modern
else.
Warfare videos, dog. It's one of a kind.
Ain't nobody corpse launched like I have.
Oh, corpse launch days.
Let's even like, and this is me being absolutely just ridiculous here, but let's jump back to like prehistoric times.
Before you do that,
where are we at on time?
Where are we at in time?
We're at 25 and a half minutes. We should probably.
Yep.
I got a minute 30 left. I'm going to say what I've got to say real quick. This is just me being ridiculous.
We're avoiding camera problems.
So the guy who invented the wheel, I guarantee you didn't just look at a rock and was like, I'm going to chisel and carve this bitch until it is round. He saw like a round rock probably rolling down a hill somewhere, was like,
oh, I got a really good idea.
Holy fuck. And you know what? The guy who invented the wheel, nature did it first. Fuck you, you an original asshole.
All right, we'll be right back. I think that's what I want to just call it. The podcast.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
hilarious.
funny. It's unique.
So what's the name of your podcast?
Well, it's the podcast.
Are you okay, sir? Yeah, I just told you. The name of my podcast is.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna sell a T-shirt. That's the merch.
No, dude. Sell blank T-shirts.
I'm just gonna be the
logo. The name of our show's on the front. It's just
buy in blank shirts.
just blank
and ship
T-shirt.
them as blank T-shirts.
yeah. I like it. It's stupid.
It's perfect.
So welcome back to the podcast.
It's perfect.
Yeah. I want to wrap things up, kind of close out.
Yeah.
And my question is, what does the next? I guess where do you see yourself in 5 years? It's a very vague. It doesn't have to be 5 years, but maybe just like where you want to see yourself,
Yeah.
where you hope to see yourself, where you actually see yourself, whatever it is.
Man, 5 years, I'll be 35.
This guy can count.
Boy, this guy fucks.
He won't much longer.
Nope.
I don't.
It's
Going into male menopause
It's
soon.
gonna stop working soon.
Somebody sign me up for Viagra. Please don't.
I'm happy to
It
be
works
here.
just fine. 5 years from now, man. Well, obviously, I'd like to have another couple tours under my belt.
Hell yeah.
Not only with YouTube related, but just like my own solo act, comedy.
Tony B.
Even if it's not even necessarily touring, I just still want to be more invested into the entertainment industry. Not just YouTube, not just something that is internet based. I mean, a lot of entertainment is going straight to internet based, but live entertainment, it was a door that was open to me that is just it's magical. It's so much fun. It's like
I'm so glad you enjoy it, honestly.
Like, I mean, obviously, I made like the whole snarky remark earlier about like smoking weed and stuff. But honestly, the best high in the world is just that energy and that adrenaline of doing something that you love. And I found that with being on stage.
I mean, I even got like a small taste of it, and I loved it. Like you guys brought me on stage. They brought me on stage at the Nashville show, and I actually went up and like everyone there, obviously, they watch you guys.
They know who you are.
They know who I am. So
Right.
like everybody was super excited about it, and that was like a really crazy experience. Like you guys were like, come on up, and then I walked up stage, everyone's cheering.
Yeah.
I said a little few words or whatever, kind of got some laughs and cheers, and I walked off, and I was like, man, that was really fun. Like maybe I want to do a tour sometime, but
Well, because
I
I
don't know
know
about the
originally
traveling,
start bringing
though.
up.
It's
I know
it's
like
a lot.
4 years ago we had the same conversation of like what we're gonna do in the future. I know stand-up comedy was something
Yeah.
that you wanted to pursue.
I'm
while
just
ago.
terrified of it. It sounds fun.
I
but
was too.
going from making stupid shit fark jokes.
Fark
Yeah.
jokes.
It's when you fart and fuck at the same
Yeah,
time.
fark jokes.
Y'all want to fark?
Anyway, making stupid shit dick fart jokes while playing games is a lot different than like
Being on stage.
being in a room looking at you like, hey, fucking make us laugh.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a lot of pressure.
It was, and God, it was awesome. I would also like to, I don't know, have a family started in the next 5 years.
There you go.
Because if I don't have a kid by the time I'm 35, I ain't shooting that seed. I don't want that kid having a grandpa at his goddamn high school or graduation.
That's a part of my 5 years. Well, I want to have a kid before I'm 30.
yeah.
3 years on that.
I mean, I got to find a wife, but
I'm Craig.
We'll, we'll see.
I found a wife. I just need to,
You need to get there.
Yeah, we need to get that Mrs. on there.
Well,
Yep.
shit. Scott just went up to you, bro.
20 minutes ago, he just announced to the world that he got married.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot longer when the show's announced or
course.
published than
Congrats,
20 minutes
Scott. I
ago.
love you.
But at the time of this recording on January 18th, 2020, approximately 7:35 p.m.
7:05.
Fuck me. What about you, man?
Continuing in the Demonetized Tour,
Yeah.
I
for sure.
want to try. I would love to have like a few albums under my belt, which would be fantastic. You know, dreaming wise.
Yeah.
I
dreaming.
want to. I've moved 5 times in the last 5 years. I want to have a home base. I want to have somewhere where I can just call home, where I can go to, and somewhere to properly decompress.
Somewhere to live for
Yeah,
5 years.
Because that's something that I struggled with for a while, as I haven't really had anywhere that I would call a home.
Mhm.
Because I knew something that, well, I didn't know, but like something was going to come up that eventually led me to go somewhere else. So,
Right.
have a place I can call home. I would love to be able to settle down with whoever wants to at this point. You let me know. Hey, what up? What up, cutie?
What's up?
I think
We've
just,
toured the country. Let's tour the bedroom.
Oh,
I
my.
know.
Uh-huh. Let me tour that rectum.
There was a lot of all right. There was a lot of bonding going on that tour bus. A lot of alcohol, a lot of sexual tension.
Yeah.
I was there. I was on the tour bus for a little bit, and I even had to get off before I got my dick sucked.
Kelly would have been pissed.
Craig was reaching, dude.
Oh, what can I say? Just like old times. And this is sound really cheesy and really whatever. I want to make sure that I'm happy in 5 years.
That ain't cheesy.
Wow, what a loser.
I know.
Fucking idiot. We would be happy.
Oh, no, it's
You would
like,
be happy? I'm a fucking retard.
with moving and with whatever, like life has been very weird. I want to make sure that I learn to take vacations and work on me.
That's
'cause
what
I
I'm doing
haven't
this
done
year.
that.
I literally made a New Year's resolution to go on 3 vacations. I booked 2.
Yep.
Third one, and they can be anything as small as like going to the beach for 2 days. That's like what the first one is. We're going to the beach for 3 days. Like that's
Yeah.
not anything outrageous, but I haven't done it in 8 years.
But when you
Right.
don't have to think about work for a while.
Yeah, that's exactly. I just want to turn my brain off and relax and enjoy company with with Kelly.
Yeah. That's
Hell
why
yeah.
these last 2 weeks where I haven't done anything YouTube wise have been the strangest 2 weeks of the decade. Oh, I know we're kind of early on that, but
It's the
it's
strangest 2. In fact, Craig,
It's
the
been
only
2 weeks of the decade.
y'all some bitches, but also true bitches.
These first 2 weeks of the year have been the strangest 2 weeks of this year, man. I will tell you what.
You're never gonna believe what happens next. No, that's kind of where I am. Tyler, what about you?
Well, said I want to have a kid.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He wants to find a name for this podcast
wanna-
within the next 5 years.
I don't know how I'm gonna name the fucking kid. It's gonna be the
Kid.
son, the daughter, like whatever, the kid. Yeah. But by the time, so my parents had me young. My dad was only 20. My mom was 18. So like they're very young. Like my dad's only 47. He
Yep.
still goes and plays basketball with me.
Yep.
We could go like ride 4-wheelers and shit. And he
Oh,
did
yeah.
when I was growing up. And like I want that, but I'm already 7 years behind. So I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I want to have a kid before I'm 30. Just so
we
I can
just
have a
can't
lot of those
compare
same
generations like that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
different.
true. But just like the fact that like I still hang out with my dad, and he's like a really good friend. you
Yeah.
know? And like I want that same experience. Not that if he was older, it wouldn't be that way, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
My dad's
much
got
more relatable.
20 years on me. That's it. So I'm 30. He's 50.
Yeah, that's the way my
So,
dad is. 27,
I'm
47.
the complete opposite. It was weird because like when I was with Sammy, her parents were like 40, 41, and her grandmother was like 65.
Yeah.
My mom's 65.
Yeah.
So my mom had me when she was like 39, 40. So like the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
So
Well, my swimmer's got a little bit more time then.
right, but for me, it's like I'm also very traditional in a sense that like not only do I want to have a million stories for my grandkids, but I want to make sure that my parents have grandkids. That's kind of like a life goal for them.
Yeah, my
everything
mom's,
I kind of do is I kind of rotate around them. So
Mom's
make sure-
ready?
Yeah,
She's probably been
my
ready.
mom's ready for some grandkids.
Yeah, she is. She's tired of Shelby.
It's my sister. Those of you don't know.
She's like, I need somebody young in this house. Go load up.
But
Get out
yeah,
of here.
yeah.
Go
I
load
wanna-
up Kelly
so
real quick.
I want to have kids before I'm 30. So that's the next 3 years. So
Yeah.
Kelly is quitting her job next month, and part of that is
To prepare the womb.
no.
Prepare thine uterus.
No, it's just we're still young. She doesn't have to work. Like
Right.
I've got things held down in that category, and she only worked really for her own fulfillment. And it got to a point where she wasn't really enjoying like
Right. She wasn't getting it anymore.
she works with animals and she loves that and stuff. But
Oh,
at
she'll
this-
be
but
getting it
with
after
any.
this month.
All right, guys. You know what?
This gonna be a dungeon next month.
Every job has its problems, essentially, and so she was
Right.
getting kind of tired of it. So we're gonna take a year, 2 years. We're gonna go travel while we're young. She wants to go to Japan, so we're gonna go to Japan. We're gonna go do
That's gonna be
cool
awesome.
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
She's gonna do different experiments on maybe little home businesses that she wants to try and do, stuff like that. Fun stuff she wants to do. We're gonna enjoy a year or two, and then settle down completely.
Yeah.
Have the kid. Probably move out of this house into something more like permanent,
Mhm.
Right.
and
And
then
build that house that you really want.
so that's
Yeah.
as far as the personal side, as well as getting in shape. That's the main thing. And then as far as YouTube and business wise, I'm fine still doing YouTube videos as long
Oh,
as
of
it's
course.
something I'm enjoying. But
Right.
if all of a sudden there's a year of just a dry spell of games, like I'm gonna go nuts.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
YouTube's
gonna go
always
nuts.
going to be a thing for all of us. I feel like we're that.
Yeah, we're never
deep
gonna
in
We're pretty
now
rooted
it's
into it at this point.
Yeah, it's if you guys keep watching, we'll keep making stuff. That's kind of the way it works. So
Even if you
as-
don't.
Yeah, so as far as like outside
I made shit when no one was watching.
yeah, that's how I got
I
started.
streamed to 9 viewers for 3 years. I remember those days.
Yeah.
I remember I streamed on Justin TV.
Yep. Oh my God. That's back when it was like Big Brother.
Yeah, I've been partnered on Twitch for like 7 years.
Jesus God Almighty.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think it's a pretty solid 5-year plan.
Yeah, I'm fine still doing YouTube, but like I'm starting to try and build like businesses and different projects outside of YouTube to where if YouTube YouTube has been rocky,
Right.
bumpy, questionable the last
2-3
couple years.
Yeah.
But if you know how to navigate, sponsors and investing your money wisely and being smart with your money, then it's not as scary.
No.
And I want it to get to a point where I don't have to worry about it at all. And I only do YouTube when I feel like it, when it's fun. If
Yeah.
that's every day, cool. If it's once a month, cool. I have other stuff I'm working on that I'm just as passionate about.
Right.
Whether that be Glitch, which is something that I've gotten into recently, or some other projects that I can't talk about yet that I'm really excited about. So
Yeah. Absolutely.
in 5 years, maybe I'm doing YouTube, maybe I'm working on this other stuff. Either way, you're still going to hear from me. For
Yeah.
sure.
Oh,
I'm going
yeah.
to be on the internet.
You'll
for
be
sure.
listening to this podcast
Yeah,
still.
probably,
Yeah,
hopefully.
episode
It
one.
still
This
won't
is-
have a name, but shit, it'll be good.
It'll still be the podcast, but yeah.
Yes. That's solid, man. That's a solid plan.
Oh yeah,
I'm excited to see where we all go.
it's gonna be crazy.
I know we'll all be, we'll all still be in touch, obviously, at this point.
Because it's crazy to
Oh,
think
yeah.
like 2015, 5 years ago from now, if you would have said that, you're starting your own businesses and you have this house or the cars or whatever, and then we had our own fucking tour
Tour
and
and-
shit like this. Like,
Yeah.
And 5 years ago wasn't that long though. I remember 2015.
Yeah.
I was playing
it wasn't, but
I was playing some Black Ops 3 zombies. Like that doesn't seem like that long ago. Like
No, it really wasn't.
so 5 years is gonna come up quick.
Yeah.
And I feel like obviously as everybody says this, but as you get older, like you feel like time moves quicker and like the years go by quicker, especially
You
as
got more
busy,
shit going on.
especially
yeah.
as busy as we are. Yeah. Like I mean,
I think one
we
thing,
spend days in our room and we come out and we're like,
What
is
year is it?
Is it Thursday, Friday? I don't even know.
well, it's
But we
something I
get
noticed-
months like that though. Like you guys going on tour. I'm
Yeah.
sure those months flew by.
Oh my
Dude.
god, yeah,
I can't
So
believe
fast.
it's January.
Yeah.
I feel like it's still September.
I know. Well, that's something my parents always told me whenever I was growing up. Like, I would go to my family members, my mom's one of 7. I have a bunch of cousins where, people were like, oh my God, Craig, you're growing up so fast. I'm like, whilst now, gradually getting older and seeing a bunch of my younger cousins and seeing them grow up fast, I'm like, damn, shit's insane.
Yeah.
Well, I get told by fans all the time, like, oh, I've been watching you for 5 years, or I used to watch you when I was a kid. I'm like,
No, that's
how old are you now? And they're like, oh, I'm 20 or I'm 18. Like, oh shit, yeah, you were a kid. You were 13 years old,
Right.
you know, 5 years ago when we were making GTA videos. Like,
Exactly.
People have been saying it's like, oh, you were my childhood. I'm like, bro, I'm barely legal in this country.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
But this
It's-
shit ain't
it's-
stopping.
no.
No.
It's an honor too. It really is. It's
Oh,
cool to do what we
100%.
do and to have you guys watch and support us. So I know we've said it a few times, but thank you for that.
Yeah.
It means a lot. We wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for that opportunity you guys gave us.
Yeah. You keep watching. We'll be here.
Yeah.
Hell
I mean,
yeah.
Is that any last comments?
Penis.
Penis?
I hope to be back, and I hope by that point I know what show I'm on.
I guess
Yeah.
if somehow, you're definitely gonna come back for
Yeah.
sure. But I guess if somehow they don't know who you are, where do they find you guys?
Oh, well, my name is Anthony. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube at BigJigglyPanda. And if you're on Instagram, you can type in BigJigglyPanda and then backspace the panda part and then hit search. And then you'll find Big Jiggly.
Big Jiggly.
Craig, how many D's are there?
There are 3 Ds.
MiniLadd
Because
with
when
3 Ds.
I had my
Is that every
MiniLadd-
link?
MiniLadd 2 Ds, there was a YouTube error message when I was creating my account. So I literally just added an extra D. And that was that. But yeah.
Are all your socials with the 3Ds too?
all my socials are 3 Ds, but my online name is 2 Ds.
Wait,
Okay.
but where'd you get that shirt though?
Where'd I get this shirt? Well, let me tell you, Wild Coot. You can get this at @ShopLad on Instagram. I am currently between designers, so there hasn't really been much going on. But you can get your smiley face shirt
God,
now.
If you ever want to get in bed with Craig, just give him an opportunity to promote something, and he's
Oh my
Give me a
God.
crisp high five.
rock hard.
You show this guy a fire meme and a place to plug his merch, he will suck your dick skin off. It'll just be cartilage left. Oh, my bad. Oops. Bad timing. I'm real bad
All
about
right,
that.
we'll wrap things up there though. So that was the.
And that was
That was
podcast.
the.
Maybe that's what it's gonna. It might not be called that. We don't even know.
We don't even know.
I second guess everything.
But good luck with the podcast. I hope it does.
Yeah.
Well, that's
no,
part
that
of your
was fun.
5-year goal. You agreed on it. Just roll with it, bro.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why we're.
No, but
Big
it was,
Jiggly MiniLadd, and I am WILDCAT.
it was fun chatting with you guys. Obviously, I talk with you guys a lot, but
Yeah.
this
Oh, yeah.
is kind
This
of
is just like hanging out in Discord, except I get to look at you.
yeah. But it was like even still some more in depth than what we usually.
Yeah, it's usually like,
course.
oh, what'd you have for dinner? Oh, that's cool. You want to play COD? Sure. Let me go get drunk.
It's pretty like we talk a lot, but it's rare that we've ever sat down and talked for almost 2 hours straight
Right.
just talking. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was cool.
Hell yeah.
All right,
Thanks for
had
having
fun.
me, man.
Thank you guys for watching.
Peace.
Peace out.